Welcome to this week's show. Whilst we were trying to decide which game to bring you this week, we came across Britball 32, the London Warriors against the Tamworth Phoenix. And ordinarily on Behind the Play, we package the highlights up, stick them into a half an hour viewing experience for you, and then speak to the coaches behind it. This particular game was so impressive, such a shootout, so many points scored, so many talking points, we didn't feel we could fit this into a half-hour show. So, for today, Behind the Play turns into Britball Rewind. We're going to bring you the entirety of Britball 32, which took place at South Leeds Stadium in September 2018, between those London Warriors and the Tamworth Phoenix. And it would be the first of two encounters that these two giants of the British game would meet. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, and watch and enjoy the whole final, Britball 32, the Tamworth Phoenix against the London Warriors.
Join us as the Tamworth Phoenix get a game underway, and it's a great opening return for the Phoenix by Mark Bonasebi. I'm joined in the booth as always by the one and only George Lees. Afternoon, George.
Afternoon, Matt. How are you today?
Well, good. Chillier than normal, but listening to that pre-game show, we should be set up for a corker here.
It should be an interesting game, that's for sure. Can the Phoenix rise again and get that national championship number 2? And will the Warriors come out swords drawn, ready to fight for their right?
Indeed, we have four-time winners, the London Warriors, taking on the defending champions, the Tamworth Phoenix here. Pat Daly in the offence for the Phoenix, first to get things going, and that ball is handed off to the right-hand side, and it's a minimal gain. Pickup of about a yard there on first down.
Yeah, very short pickup there. We should say that we've had a lot of rain today. It does seem to have died down at the moment, but that ground underneath will be very, very wet. Teams will be testing, no doubt, the field and their opposition on their first offensive drives.
So Adam Hope with the opening carry there for the Phoenix. Daly, 3 receivers to his left in that trips formation on 2nd and 9. And he is going to go to the air, and he looks to his left, pops the ball to the man crossing, and that's his receiver, Marcus Urbanski. Urbanski picks up more positive yardage to bring up the first third down of the afternoon for the Phoenix.
And Daly had plenty of time in the pocket on that play to make that read, that run across the middle of the field. We'll see what they can do here.
So third down upcoming for the Phoenix. See if, interesting, they've got that trips formation once again set up to the short side of the field, so a lot of space to Daly's right.
Perhaps looking for an out route, short pass for the quarterback.
Here we go, 3rd and 5 for Daly, and there's an immediate flag, and that looks like a false start, illegal procedure penalty, and that will march the Phoenix back.
Early nerves perhaps there.
Offense, 89, 5 yards, third down.
Our officiating crew this afternoon, led by referee Keith Wickham. We have umpire Stuart Young, head linesman Ben Griffiths, line judge Pete Tom, back judge Dan Holt, field judge Peter Parsons, and side judge Dean Wright, who will be maintaining all the action this afternoon. So from 3rd and 5, Daly faced with his first test of the afternoon. It's a 3rd and 10 upcoming. He drops back again. He's got Hope rolling out to his right. He has to take evasive action and swallowed up by the centre of that Warriors defensive line.
And that was a big hit to knock him down eventually. Number 95, the man that got there first, Tomakido. Good, strong running by him to get into the middle of that offensive line. Nice penetration to bring Daly down early on. Sack number 1.
And what seemed to be an initially positive start from the Phoenix as they gained 5 yards off those first 2 plays ultimately turns into a dominant performance by that Warriors defense.
See if they are going to punt it here. There seems to be a little bit of confusion. But, have now lined up in that punt formation.
Going to be some interesting battles across the field against from between these two teams, and we'll hook you up as that ball. Beautiful punt, absolutely.
Oh, and it's bobbled!
And it is bobbled, and that high ball, obviously, like you said, been a lot of moisture here today in Leeds, and that and as a flag comes out as the scrum ensues, and you don't want to know what goes on at the bottom of one of those things.
No, we do not.
Number 29 for the Warriors on the reception. That's Josh Amos, and those of you who have watched any of the Great Britain Lions in action this summer will know that name, Josh Ames.
Looks like it might be Luke Benjamin that's recovered the football for the Warriors, but we'll see which way they spot it.
After play was over.
I've gone completely deaf. Everyone's looking up here at us. That's nothing to do with us. Blame somebody else. That's nothing to do with us.
Yeah,
up here.
apologies, folks at home. You may have picked up on that technical issue there. Many mics make for screeching noises.
So after that personal foul penalty against the Phoenix, the Warriors in fantastic field position. Quarterback Nick Jackett won 2 Britbowls in his career already. He's going to pick up his first possession of the afternoon inside Phoenix territory. So as we mentioned about Josh Ames, that returner who muffed that opening punt, both these teams provided the lion's share of the Great Britain outfit during the summer. So we know the quality on show here will be second to none. The Warriors will be looking to avenge last year's semi-final defeat to the Phoenix. You may well remember that the Phoenix then went on to beat the London Blitz 34-28 in last year's Britbowl.
Yeah, what a game that was.
Incredible. As things stand this year.
That appears that we may have had this game whistled at the moment, because we've got to our side officials who are doing a little bit of a replay work. It looks like they may be calling.
It's interesting. We
maybe adding an additional penalty from what we can overhear. So we'll see what this comes up with.
So yeah, we are fortunate enough to have
As
that
Will
video.
Hobbs dances across the field like Bambi.
Video replay in operation today, like you said. It's been used previously last year's Britbowl and the Bucks final, 2017-18, trialled in
87
those.
Black was also seen to commit an unsportsmanlike act. The penalties will offset, still be a first down.
So indeed, there were offsetting penalties at the bottom of that score, and as a result, the Warriors will maintain possession where they recovered that muff from Josh Ames.
Yeah, so this we did have this. We trialled this last year with both ourselves and BAFRA, and of course BAFRA, but it wasn't perhaps utilised in such a way that we're planning on utilising it today. Already we've had that picked up, and they wanted to have an official review, and it's worked out certainly in Tamworth's favour, as the Warriors step back to pass early on, deep ball, and it's Benjamin that's caught it, and I think he's going to go out of bounds and around about the 15-yard. We'll see what the call is here.
Luke Benjamin going to work straight away, and that was a beautiful little pattern that put his defender on ice. Massive pickup on first down for the Warriors, and they are all of a sudden inside the red zone already.
Yeah, very much going for that deep, staying early on. And Benjamin was left wide open. It just touches his foot on that white line. Mark him on the 17-yard line.
So first down for Jackett in the offense. He has his man in motion, and ball's handed off to the left side. He bounces outside, and he's on his feet to the 15, past the 10, up to the 5, and he scoots into the end zone for the opening touchdown. That's Raymond Subawale, leading rusher on the season for the London Warriors, who opens the capital teens account for this afternoon.
Quick and explosive comes to mind. One big pass, one big run, and look at that on the edge there, taking 2 men out, not intentionally I don't think necessarily, but did what he needed to do on the edge, and allowing a nice lane for his running back there.
You can see great vision there from the halfback, as that play was designed to go just off tackle, and instead of of that particular route. Subawala manages to bounce out to the left and get into the end zone. The extra point is up, and it is good, and on a very, very quick possession for the Warriors. 2 plays, 60 yards, 7 points.
I don't think anyone was expecting to see that happen quite as quick. Tamworth and the Warriors both have explosive offences and very good defence, but of course they've not played each other this year.
So we're very fortunate this afternoon to be here at the John Charles Centre for Sport, South Leeds Stadium. Big thanks to EP Sports for helping make today's stream possible. That's the UK's premier supplier of equipment and accessories. They are the #1 stop for players from all over Europe. Check them out at www.epsports.co.uk. So, in less than 4 or 5 minutes, the Warriors are kicking off for a second time. See, one thing we do know about these Tamworth Phoenix, though, they are resilient. And another high hanging kick, fielded at the 10-yard line. And once again, there's a little scene there for the return, and he's out past the 30 to the 35, but close to the 40. Once again,
Warriors number 8 just got tangoed.
Mark Bonazevic with the return once again. Yeah, as you mentioned there, that was Ian Jackett, brother of quarterback Nick Jackett, who did get a little bit, how should we say,
Tangoed.
by that orange
this
crush.
Bright orange crush,
Denver
yeah.
were famous back in the sort of 80s as being known as the orange crush. So, first down, Tamworth on their second possession. All handed off. Once again, that's Hope, who takes the ball up the middle, and there's not a great deal of space for him there. And another flag.
A little bit of handbags at the end of the play. We'll see what our man in the know is calling for holding.
Anytime he's in that sort of position on the field, that will be more than likely the call. Let's have a listen.
Holding, offence, 66, 10 yards, still first down.
I remember that I did a commentary with Carl Walkinshaw, our host, a few months ago, and we had a bit of a competition about who could get the most flags correct.
Well, would you like to have a go with Sir Roger of Goodgroves?
I think we shall. Well, you can join. We can have a three-way battle. Sir Roger of Goodgroves.
I feel like, as an official, he might win.
Well, let's see. Let's have us two against him.
Well, he's already
right,
1-0.
He's 1-0 up, that's fine. As Daly drops back to pass, swings the ball out to Hope. Hope makes the reception, and he manages to gain 5 yards of that holding penalty back, so it'll bring up 2nd and 15. But
Tamworth really, really struggling here.
We will see. I'd like to bring a little bit of competition to the booth as well as to the field. So 1-0 Bafra, we'll say at the moment. Daly on 2nd and 15. That trips formation again out to the left. Hope this time floats out to his left, and the same result is that complete pass, and Hope makes a couple of men miss. There's some good blocking upfield by his receiver, Will Hussey, number 89, and he's going to be moving the chains for the first Phoenix first down of the afternoon.
Yeah, second time he's gone to Hope there. That time a big gain, big pickup.
Slippery character, Hope. Use those hips very well to jink. There's that trips formation again to the short side. Daly looks for his man over the middle, and James Hossack in the intended receiver. A little bit high, that one from Daly. 2nd and 10 upcoming. 11 minutes remaining in the first quarter of this 2018 Britbowl. Britbowl 32. Being streamed live from South Leeds Stadium. As Daly faces a 2nd and 10. Same formation once again. This time we know Daly can do this. It's a design quarterback run, and he picks up positive yards, and another flag comes out. And I believe that will be a holding once again. I'm going to get in there before Bafra this time. Let's see if we can level this up, George. I'm quite confident about this. But you can see straight from the off there, Daly takes off to his left. Hope provides a block, and he picks up positive yardage, but I'm thinking this
It
one
was called a holding call. The officials have called that symbol during the replay. It is a holding call.
So there we go.
1-1.
Bafra 1, Booth 1. Great to have so many volunteers and aficionados of the game around here at South Leeds Stadium this afternoon, from Bathra to Nick and the crew from Double Coverage. Daly drops back again. This time he has two receivers to his right. He goes out to his right, and it's a fantastic catch. Not even catch by James Hossack. From where we were standing there, I don't know why that ball was going to float out of his grasp.
Yeah,
but Hossack goes to the ground, reels in the ball, and picks up positive yardage. But it's penalties that are killing the Phoenix at the moment.
Sliding down there like a penguin down an iceberg. What a great grab.
Daly steps into that pass very nicely. So once again, though, 3rd and long due to that holding penalty. Daly drops back. He looks. Unfortunately, Hussey slips after making the. That will bring up 4th and going to be 8, maybe a long 7. Daly and the offense appear to be staying on the field, but no, now the special teams jog on. Jason Scott maybe thinking better of that decision this early in the game.
So the big difference, obviously, despite the lack of stand on the other side, between here and Worcester, where the national final was held yesterday, is the turf. Grass today, which with the heavy rain that we've had, is probably causing all these trips, or these slips. I know a number of guys bought two pairs of boots, one moulded, one not, and got to try and find your footing early on. Of course, Worcester 4G doesn't quite succumb in the same way to the rain.
And Mark Bonazebi back to punt for the Phoenix. There is another delay in the game whistled. There's a delay of game foul indeed. So that won't be too much of a concern for the Phoenix, the fact that they're punting, but nevertheless, the penalty count will be a concern for Coach Scott this early in the game.
Delay a game. Offence. 5 yards. Still 4th down.
Referee Wickham with the call once again, so 4th down upcoming. Josh Ames back deep to return for the Warriors. Nice snap. Line drive this time to the corner. Seeing what Ames did for the Lions out in Finland over the summer. That's probably a man you do want to kick away from rather than give him any field space. And a decent result in the end. The Warriors will take over just outside their own 10-yard line for their second possession of the afternoon. So far, Phoenix showing signs of life on that second drive, picking up a couple of first downs. But it's this Warriors offense that has caused Phoenix D big issues.
Really exploded out of the block when they came out on that first drive.
So first down, Jacket, and the Warriors offense. Ball is handed off to the left-hand side. The runner picks up a couple.
Better defense that time from the Phoenix. Perhaps they just needed that first defensive drive to settle their nerves. It didn't quite work out for them, allowing the first score, but
that's Dwayne Watson with the carry that time. Dwayne Watson, the real workhorse of this Warriors running game, although Sabawale does have better stats, more carries, more rushes, but do a lot of the work for this London-based outfit. Little receiver screen.
Benjamin against the intended receiver.
Luke Benjamin picks up enough for a Warriors first down just inside the 25-yard line.
3 Phoenix players around him to bring that ball down. Nobody on him, nobody near him. When he caught that screen, nobody fighting underneath, which is what you need to do to destroy these screens. We've seen both teams run them so far.
So first down, Warriors still relatively deep in their own side of the field. Jackie once again hands off, and it's Watson on the carry again, and Watson is met by 2 Phoenix, one of which is linebacker Andy Mortimer. For a minimal gain. In fact, it doesn't look like he's. In fact, yeah, they're gonna mark him pickup of maybe 2 on the play.
Big, powerful running back, and you don't want to be taking hits from him all day. He's just going to act like a body blow, grinding down the defense.
2nd and 8. Jackie gives instructions. Instructions to Andy Stedman. There's another delay, but it's because it's due to guys, and we've got our replay booth, and you can see the official there. It's just off screen at the moment, but referee Wickham has signalled that they are coming upstairs to the booth to look at something. I'll tell you what is nice about this stadium, even though, like you say, Worcester was good because there was seating all around.
Environmentally friendly with the wind turbine across the way.
Absolutely. Beautiful view of the Leeds skyline, but more importantly, if you look down to our left, the stand here is very, very healthily attended, I think, with the fans from all areas representing Tamworth and London. And
yeah, nobody thought to bring a barbecue. Happened to the tailgate,
but it
tailgate party.
Definitely a fantastic atmosphere in this main stand, though.
We'll see. There seems to be some discussions.
Number 36 of Tamworth is ejected for a late hit.
Wow, that is big. Anthony Norton, DB for the Phoenix.
Don't know if we can quite get that replay up.
Ejected from the game in the first quarter.
That is a big.
Let's see what you can see here. You can see to the right of your screen right here. You can put him in now, and he's already on the
leading with the head as well.
And I think. I don't think you can really argue with that, and we can hear the replay official saying it's forcible contact due to the fact he dived, he left his feet, led with his head, and the man was already tackled. So, unfortunately, for Anthony Norton, that is the end of his afternoon.
Big call by the officials there, but that's why we've got this official replay, so that we can, nobody can miss a thing.
See on the far side there, Norton and his head coach Jason Scott just embracing, because it's, we all know to get to play in the Premiership in the UK is hard.
Some people might say, why have we got this review system? Is it not just going to ruin the game? But if we're trying to bring the standard of play up across the country, things like that, good spots by the officials is what we need, and to have it on this situation is great.
And the safety of the players as well, as Watson takes the handoff once again and is met after a minimal gain on second down. So yeah, you're quite right, George. It's people argue it slow the game down. People argue that it interferes with play, but like you say, improving the standard, making sure players know that they are being watched, and that something like that can be picked up. And a great work by our replay officials, the BAFA replay officials, alongside us this afternoon. So, big first third down of the afternoon for the Warriors. Jackett has three receivers to his left. Got one running back behind him in that pistol formation that's so common now in the British game. He drops back and Watson provides protection. He looks down the middle. He's got his man! And it's Newport again down the seam at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Warriors! Two big passing plays, and that one was just straight down the seam of those two safeties.
Yeah, Warriors have come out swords drawn, slashing away through this defense and in for that second touchdown early on in the first quarter.
What I really like about Jackett, and he's done this on the last couple of plays, he reads. But on that play, he knew, having looked at the defensive coverage and the way they were lined up, he knew that seam would be open between those two deep safeties, and he hit Newport in stride. And the Warriors, with this extra point, will double their lead still in the first quarter. Let's see Let's see if Ian Jackett can provide the extra points, which he does. So, with 6 minutes left in the first period here in Britbowl 32, the London Warriors 14 and the Tamworth Phoenix still to get on the board.
Big start from this Warriors team.
A statement has been laid.
Very much so. Tamworth are going to have to find a way to move this ball, these short pickups. They seem to take 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Need to find a way to keep pushing upfield.
I think what we've seen so far as well is that their offensive production has been positive, but they have at least 5-6 penalties. It's really penalties that are killing the West Midlands team at the moment. So let's see if they can at least get themselves back in this one. That's back deep once again. Benazabi along with Sam Huxtable. This time it's going to be Benazabi once again for his 3rd return of the afternoon. Fields the ball inside his 5-yard line, gets out to the 15, makes a man miss at the 20, up to the 30, out to the 35, to the 40, midfield, and he could go all the way. 96-yard kickoff return, no flags. The Phoenix are back in it. Wow!
Woo!
What?
That's a way to rise from the ashes there.
What a way to answer back. And if you've got to answer the great downfield blocking, watch this.
But having said that, 3 times today they've returned this football, and all 3 times they've had good starting pickups, and this one really was finding a space, finding a seam, following his blockers, and all the way, 1 man to beat, eyes on the prize.
As we've said, Mark Benazabi, and a real low centre of gravity. Changes direction, cuts in and out of his movement fantastically well. Some great downfield blocking. And let's see if the same man can add the extra point. His kick is up, and it is good. And we have a game on our hands once again. Still 6 minutes to go in the first quarter, and we've had 3 touchdowns already. The London Warriors 14 and the Tamworth Phoenix 7.
I think I might start singing in a minute. What a great play that was.
So the Phoenix, if you look at them, obviously Phoenix all in orange.
No, I think we have to call it red because it's American football.
Okay. And therefore, go on, what is it about the colours? You can't have a...
I don't know, it's orange.
Yeah, it is orange. But the Phoenix all in orange, the Warriors all in their menacing black outfits. Both teams with a lot of swag.
Look out for those bicep bands on the cars. We discussed them before the game.
If you're looking for swag, there's no better place.
Fashion disaster.
There's no better place to go for swag than EP Sports. EP Sports isn't just a clothing equipment store for the players. Their team sales specialists can help your team with any equipment that you may need and offer the best value in the UK. For more information, they can be contacted using sales@epsports.co.uk. We thank EP Sports for helping us to bring this stream to you this afternoon, and this one could turn out to be a cracker. Benazabi, we've mentioned his name so many times. Kick returning, extra points, kickoffs. He's the man of the moment. Let's see whether or not that Warriors offensive unit can reply. Short kick, and it's to one of the up backs. And it's number 89 who fields that one. That's Robert Gogoli, and he was probably not expecting to see much of the football today. So
nor do I think Tamworth were expecting to see the pace that he looked like he could bring once he caught that ball.
And equally, that's a surprise to me because we've seen how quickly the Warriors can attack, and I can't imagine that was a designed short kickoff, because it wasn't overly high enough for the coverage team to get into a position to make it difficult for Gogoli to catch. And as it turns out now, the Warriors have the ball at midfield. So let's see, can Jackett and the offense restore that 2-score advantage? As Malloy comes in motion, the ball is handed off, and it's the touchdown scorer that takes the carry. He bounced off one man, but then is met by a swarm of Phoenix, and the ball is deemed to have popped out. Let's wait for the official signal. The Phoenix sideline are getting very excited, and the flag comes out at the end of it. But it may well be another review. Let's see what the outcome of this is to begin with. Who initially has been given the football. So we can see
this
from
here
the replay.
is an absolute monster hit. Just look at that.
It's a big hit, but Sabawali manages to fend that off, and he's very strong. Ball does come out actually before. It does look from where I'm standing, that ball pops out before the runner is down. But it all depends.
They're reviewing it on that.
We can see on this replay now, play being rewound. Watch this ball just squirt out to the right of the official. Let's see, is that man... Now, that ball is definitely out.
That ball's out, but is his knee down?
Watch that right knee. Watch that right knee. Ball is out.
I think he stayed up.
Although there might be some concern that the official there, our referee, might have been in the way. But let's have a listen to our official. I think there's going to be a penalty. Obviously, the way that the Warriors have been marched back, there's going to be a penalty against the Warriors. But I think we're just looking to see... get the call right and get a particular number on that. Just glancing to my right to the replay booth. Looks like being 16. Phil Newport, touchdown scorer. It is Phil Newport who is being pinged. Looks like it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Newport.
After review, 16 Black late hit the pile after the fumble was recovered by Black. It'll be second down, 15 yards back.
So yeah, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty there against Newport. It'll march them 15 yards back and bring up second.
That is 16's first unsportsmanlike conduct.
Bring them second and long. So, 15 yards march back, and the first little bit of an issue this afternoon for the Warriors. Sabawali with the carrier, big, strong runner. Blitz coming from the right-hand side of the defensive line, and it's Benjamin with the reception. Benjamin picks up about 6 yards. It'll be 3rd and 15. See if that Tamworth defense can solidify and force the first punt of the afternoon for the Warriors.
Oh, did you see that hurdle on the backfield there? That was a big hit as well to finish off by the Phoenix.
These boys have come to play this afternoon as anybody would in Britbowl 32. Final weekend of action for the British American football season. Tomorrow afternoon we have the Division 1 final.
There's a run up the middle of the field and not going anywhere, as it looks like Phoenix 68 is the man that brings him down, Stephen Gregory.
So the Phoenix will be very happy with those last two possessions, or well, the last special teams outing and that defensive possession, as you say. Sabawala doesn't find any joy up the middle. Two men back to return this time.
High snap.
It's
gone deep.
And Ian Jackett manages to get the ball away, and looks like it's going to be recovered by the Warriors. I think that is going to be Warriors football.
Well, this might be one way to pick up a first down.
There won't be... So, absolutely, as we're being told by Baffer, obviously the ball never crossed the line of scrimmage on that punt, so as a result it is not live, which means that Tamworth will take over on offence.
And it will be a Tamworth ball, 1st and 10.
So a bit of a lucky break there. Obviously, like you say, we saw that Jackett had problems with that high snap. He managed to get a kick away. Initially, obviously, it was touched by a Phoenix player, and everyone's mind immediately switches then to the fact that, well, that's a live ball for the Warriors. But no, as that live ball hasn't crossed the line of scrimmage, as Daly with a beautiful run. We saw him do this in last year's final, where he bounced off of blitz players after player and ended up going 45 yards for a score. This time, that read option, he keeps that ball in the running back's basket for a long, long time. Reads and then pulls it. Brilliant decision in the end. Makes 3 men miss. Pings to the outside as Hussey makes a fantastic block on that pursuing linebacker. And finally...
I think he may have taken after the old childhood nursery rhyme of the worm at the bottom of the garden. Wiggly work all the way through.
Josh Ames finally brings him down as Daly looks to his right, comes back to his left. He's got a man, and the man makes a reception at the 5-yard line. And that man is...
Looks like Hossack.
James Hossack, number 81. But from what was almost disaster for the Phoenix, turns into another opportunity, and they are 5 yards away from tying this one up.
Yeah, 2nd and goal here.
2 receivers to the left for Daly, 1 to the right. 1 man in the backfield, just set a little bit to his left. Let's see what Coach Scott dials up. The boys handed up the middle. There's a pick up of a couple for the runner, but no more than that.
Deji Ali there, that was the runner that time. A couple of yards. They're really struggling to get their running backs going. Certainly Daly doing his job in the Tamworth Phoenix running game, but got to find a way to get those runners going.
If I know Coach Scott, he'll probably be thinking there are still 2 more downs here to go for 6. I'd be very surprised if he brought on the field goal unit after this play if he's not successful. But here's that formation again, those trips to the short left side of the field, and the running back this time to that same side. And it's that designed run from Daly, and he's going to be in trouble. And he's brilliantly lateral pursuit from the Warriors defense stops him at least 3 yards short of that goal line.
Yeah, they may give him a gain there, but as you say, it's highly likely Coach Scott's going to go for 6.
Well, they're a yard out, 1 yard out. Daly's still on the field. Deji Ali's still on the field. This time they do spread the Warriors a little more with 2 receivers to the right, 1 out wide to the left. Ali in the backfield with Daly. That defensive front does look menacing, though, even just a yard out. This could be a collision in the making. Flag on the play, so it is a free play. Daly knows he's got a free play, hits his man in the back of the end zone.
Hossack with the score.
James Hossack for the 2nd Phoenix touchdown of the afternoon. And we're all tied up, bar the extra points. Don't speak too soon.
Defense.
Yeah,
that will be offside against the defense, so this one will count as Hossack gets the crowd going as he makes his way back to the sideline. Real good awareness, though, not only from all the Phoenix players, but from Daly to know that flag's down, know he's got a free play, and find Hossack in the back of the end zone for 6.
Well taken by Hossack as well, just to get his feet in bounds as well. Good work by him.
Great awareness at the back of the end zone there. So Benazavi on the field once again, looking to square this one up. Still not at the end of the first quarter, George. 4 touchdowns and some spectacular play from offense and defense.
Couldn't ask for a better start for a final if you're an offensive lover.
Kick is chipped up, and that is through. We have a tie ball game in Britball 32. The London Warriors 14 and the Tamworth Phoenix 14. Wow.
How can people get in touch with us today, Matt?
Oh, we'd love to hear from you. Well, as ever, we'd like to know where you're watching. Are you watching from somewhere in the UK? Are you watching from somewhere further afield on this opening NFL weekend? We saw the Eagles defeat the Atlanta Falcons on Thursday night, in which was what was a very tight game, with the Philly Special 2.0 on display. Nick Foles catching a pass from Aguilar. But you can get in touch with us. Use the hashtag Britbowl32. If you want to tell us where you're watching from, who you're rooting for, anything else you want to get in touch with us about, that hashtag once again, Britbowl32, and we'll try and give you a shout out on air this afternoon. So what seemed to be a game that may be on the way to running away from the Phoenix, now you've got to question whether or not, and we've spoken about him in our commentaries before, Big Mo. Big Mo has well and truly switched from wearing a black jersey to wearing an orange jersey at this point of proceedings. 1:38 left in the first quarter. Benazabi looking to kick off, and interesting formation. 4 men to his left, which means there are 6 men to his right, and Ames will field this one. He fields it at his 15-yard line. He's up out to the 20. He's got a seam. He's got Benjamin blocking in front of him, but the special teams unit for the Phoenix brings him down just across the 30-yard line, where the Warriors will take their next offensive snap.
Yes, if the Warriors can get things moving in their direction after that interesting offensive drive, very, very long 4th down, and then a bad snap, a blocked punt, and all things in between.
So here we go. Difficult to call. I was a little worried that we may have a pretty one-sided affair after that second touchdown of the afternoon from Newport. That long pass from Jacket down the middle of the field.
It's a beautiful pass by him as well.
But no, the Phoenix have, as you've already alluded to, risen from an early fire. But let's see what Jacket and this offense can do once again. Ball this time is handed off once again to Watson. Watson round the right-hand side of his offensive line. Picks up 5, maybe 6. It'll be second down.
Nice, powerful offensive line of the London Warriors. The lead blocker there, 71, Ricard Gazekpo. Needed to kind of pick his block a little bit. Maybe would have got a couple of yards, but used his body to get in front of the linebackers.
So we're all tied up here, 14 all. Indeed, on the season, the Tamworth Phoenix were 10-0. The London Warriors were 10-0. The point differential wasn't too different either. Phoenix scoring 552 points, only conceding 59. The Warriors scoring 421, only conceding 33 points all year as Jacket looks back to pass. Looks left, looks right, looks left again. Acres of time, but now he's in trouble and he's going to have to eat the ball, and the Phoenix come up with the first sack of the afternoon. That's Dan Shalipo.
With the orange crush.
Mentioned his name numerous times when we covered the Phoenix in Europe this year, but great perseverance by that defensive front for the Phoenix.
Should have got him there really on the initial attempt. But
great form tackle in the end there by Shalipo.
Wonderful.
And that will be the end of the first quarter here from the South Leeds Stadium. Britbowl 32, brought to you by EP Sports and Onside Productions, where our scoreline, as you can see, is the London Warriors 14 and the Tamworth Phoenix 14.
You certainly couldn't have asked for a better first quarter than that.
Mentioned earlier on, just a couple of minutes ago, get in touch with us if you'd like to get a shout out, let us people know where you're watching from, who you're supporting, any friends, family on the field out there, whether you're from the North Conference, being represented by the Tamworth Phoenix this afternoon, or whether you're from the South Conference, being represented by the London Warriors. It'd be great to hear from you this afternoon. So here we go, first play of the second quarter is a third down for the London Warriors. Jacket again, trips to his left, one running back set straight behind him. Got time again, pops the ball out, looking for Benjamin, and that flies out of bounds. No flags. I think Benjamin slipped making his cut there, so that will bring up fourth down. And once again, you've got to say momentum is with the Phoenix.
Very much so. Just keep pushing this Warriors team back.
Hopefully be able to bring you some first quarter stats shortly. Our friends at Double Coverage are keeping track of all the tangibles that are going down on the field. Nick and his crew.
All things mathematical.
All things mathematical. As the two receivers, the two deep kick returners for the Phoenix wait to see what this, that's a high kick, that's a fantastic punt. Fair catch signal, and it's muffed again! And that could be dropped on by the Warriors for another turnover. And that was a definite fair catch signal. Fair catch signal this time from Jack Verlin, ex-Leicester man, for a long time ago. But Verlin, you see, does make a little half-hearted wave for a fair catch.
That high kick puts a lot of pressure on him, and despite him waving it off and not being hit, you know, he's a safe player, deemed safe. But the pressure with 2-3 guys coming up towards you is enough to make anybody drop a football.
N.K. Smith, then, number 85 for the Warriors, did very well to notice the fair catch signal, slammed the brakes on before he managed to get there to Verling.
Smart football by him.
And pressure Verling enough into muffing that catch, rather. Ball handed off, and once again, it's Sabawali bouncing off tacklers.
Has he not been told that Strictly Come Dancing doesn't start for another couple months?
Well, actually,
watch this footwork here. It's not far off here. What beautiful footwork.
Cut. Madden, that's a Madden move right there.
That is some ballroom footwork. A little bit of salsa maybe. Great work by him.
Stiff arms the next man. So, 2nd and 2, after momentum seems to be shifting back towards the Warriors' way. That same man, Sabawali, with the carry again, and he's going to be close to first down yardage that time. And it is signalled by referee Wickham. First down, Warriors.
He can do a mixture of both, that's for sure. The nice steps on that previous play and then straight through the man where he needed to be.
So it's now the Phoenix who have to start asking questions, digging deep. We mentioned this before from a defensive point of view, you being sort of more defensive minded as well, George. It's all well and good saying you've not got as far to go, but the defense have an advantage the closer you get to the end zone, in that they've not got as much greenery to cover as Benjamin makes a reception on the right sideline on that little screen again. He's got close to first down yardage once again. So yeah, so it makes it hard for the offense, doesn't it, when they've got less field to play into.
Yeah, definitely. Certainly with the passing game and the running game as well, but safety's far less area to try and cover. Really, the Warriors want to be trying to maybe try and put one into the end zone here, where they've still got a little bit of running room for the receivers.
Stuart Malloy runs to the sideline for the Warriors. Quick substitution as Newport lines up to the right side. Benjamin out wide to the left with James Cherry, another Great Britain wide receiver. Slot on the left, and it's got a lovely block from Cherry, and he's bounced out of bounds at the 3-yard line. That's Sobowale again.
Will Hobbs with the touchdown saving tackle as he boots him out of bounds.
You can see why this running attack has been so venomous during the year. Look at James Cherry there. Block on the linebacker, sealing
Wayne
that.
Drew was just absolutely destroyed by the Warriors' offensive line.
Sobowale manages to get down to the 3-yard line before Hobbs smashes him out of play. So first and goal, London. 4 attempts to get in from 2 yards out.
Looks like Dwayne Watson now in at that running back spot.
It is Watson with the carry, and Watson goes to his right, goes through the line of the Tamworth Phoenix and gets in for the 3rd score of the afternoon for the Warriors. Touchdown, Watson. Touchdown, Warriors.
We could be racking up the numbers today, that's for sure.
When you consider in 10 games, the Phoenix have only considered 59 points, and already this afternoon, in less than 2 quarters, they've conceded 21. By that same token, the Warriors have only conceded 33 points in their 10 games, and already 14 this afternoon. So this really is a clash of the Titans as the kick is up. And the kick is no good. The kick is wide right.
And in this high-scoring fiasco, that could really, really be a crucial miss by the kicker.
We talk about changes in momentum, but also points off turnovers. And points off turnovers at any level of the game are key. And if you remember, that was a Jack Verlin fumbled punt that led to that latest Watson touchdown for the Warriors. So we've had almost as many kickoffs as we've had plays from scrimmage this afternoon. This will be the 3rd kickoff by the Warriors.
Fourth Warriors kickoff. They kicked off the game, of course.
They did indeed. So the 4th Warriors kickoff compared to 2 kickoffs by the Tamworth Phoenix. Here we go then. Let's see whether or not the Phoenix can bounce back yet again. Kick is up. It's a nice deep kick. And it's Benazabi fielding that just outside his 10. He's up round the 30 again. Another fantastic return. And what a weapon that is on special teams, where your starting field position can be closer to midfield than it is your own goal line.
Yeah, short field is the offense's advantage. We'll see what they can come up with this time. Really got to find a way to put some points on the board and keep themselves in the scoring game. Daly lined up this time with that trip set to his left on that short side of the field. We've seen him run from this position more than once today.
So let's see if Daly and the Phoenix can respond to those 3 Warriors touchdowns. Swings the ball out. And this time...
What a massive hit!
Deji Ali, and Deji Ali, to his credit, bounces straight up from that. And that was Sam Obi with the hit, I think. Was it number 24?
We'll see if we can get a replay. Thunderous, thunderous hit from the Phoenix blocking team.
Heard that all the way from up here, and Tamworth try and use that as fuel as they go to the no-huddle offense. Trips to the left again for Daly. Daly looks to drop back to pass again. He's got a couple of men either side, and he zigs the ball out, and That time, his man didn't realise that ball was coming. Same player, Dejali.
Flag on the play this time.
And that could well be offensive pass interference.
Might well be,
the
yeah.
ball was in the air.
Ali trying to play defensive back a little bit here, but should have turned round. He could have caught the football as well.
Here's that previous play. Let's watch the block coming in. You
OPI,
should see this coming in from your right-hand
25,
side.
15
Here it
yards.
comes. Oh, that's
What
a bone
a hit.
cruncher. Bone cruncher. That was unfortunately Alfred Nelson feels that blind side block. And once again, it is penalties making things difficult.
And actually,
for
Nelson
Phoenix.
seems to be getting some medical attention on the sideline after that hit.
He sat down on the bench, helmet's off. He's getting assessed by the medical staff there by the Warriors.
He definitely took a rocking there.
We did indeed. So 2nd and long, call it 2nd and 20 for the Phoenix. Daly trips to the left once again. Finds himself in a hole which he has got out of more than once today, and he's using his feet to try and buy time. There's another flag down, and he puts the ball up, and that ball is in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Ben Burslem. And that other flag is going to be a hold. Whenever you find a quarterback having that type of time and then a flag coming out in that particular vicinity of the field, it is going to be nothing but holding. So from 2nd and 20, that's going to bring up 2nd and 30.
Holding, offense, 66. The penalty's declined, 3rd down.
So interestingly, understandably as well, already at 2nd and 20, the Warriors electing to decline.
3rd and 20, actually. I think that.
No, it was 2nd and 20. The Warriors electing to decline that penalty. So instead of 2nd and 30, it's now 3rd and 20.
You are correct. I thought we were on 3rd and 20. If I'm being completely honest, it already changed the down marker.
So here we go then. A big hole for Daly and the offense on this drive as the Warriors threaten blitz. A linebacker coming up the middle. He does come and the ball swung out. Is it? Oh, I thought that would be picked off. Goodness me, Theo Williamson's eyes lit up for a moment because there was nothing but open grass in front of him on his way to the end zone.
Let the big man get the football, and he very nearly did. One hand.
But nevertheless, that will be punt time for the Phoenix special teams unit. And that man is back, eagerly waiting. Josh Ames, one of 3 Great Britain DBs out on the field for the London Warriors. So a big kick is required here. And we've already seen that their handling is an issue. There's been a couple of muffed punts. We saw Sobowale struggling to hang on to the ball on the far sideline. It is a hanging kick, and it bounces, takes a Phoenix bounce inside the 35-yard line down to about the 34, where the Warriors offense will take over.
So they scored in a little bit of an unconventional way last time out, having that recovering their own punt. The dropped catch by Verling.
So let's see what we've got on our social media at this point. At D. Senart, it's Amis, not Ames. Just saying, thank you very much. Thank you for correcting us. We will always happily take on any assistance, particularly where pronouncing names are concerned. But thanks for tuning in. Tyron Butler at Topcat 1807, watching from Birmingham, West Midlands. Go Knicks as the Warriors get things going on 1st down and pick up good positive yardage. It'll be around about 2nd and 4 upcoming. Cardiff Valkyries, shout out to the Cardiff Valkyries. What a game so far. Yeah, quite agree. 20-14 in favour of the London Warriors at the moment. Somebody, Kieran we've got here. Kieran, KBQB. Does it ring any bells, George?
Yeah,
I
KB.
heard George Lees wears shin pads to bed. Well, we'll question Georgia on that and see whether that is the case. Well, we do know he's a little brittle, but there we go. As this time it's Watson with the carry, and he goes to the right side of that London offensive line and is met immediately by the Phoenix defenders. So that will bring up a 3rd and short for the Warriors. Keep those tweets coming in. We'd love to hear from you.
Just not Kieran Brown.
Joseph Smith, watching from Boston, Massachusetts. Great to see we've got somebody watching from across the pond this afternoon. Great game so far. And one more just before we see this third down play from Nathan Sharrock. The stream is looking great and the game even better. But is it South Africa 2010 all over again?
Put the Vuvuzelas
away. Sorry, Nathan. It's a great atmosphere here, though. As once again, Watson takes the carry off the left side.
Slips down. I don't know whether they're going to mark him for the first down.
Well, where that official is coming in from our sideline, it looks like they're going to mark him a yard short. And indeed, that is going to be a yard short and brings up an interesting decision for Coach Allen and the Warriors offense.
This wet surface really playing havoc underfoot.
And they're not taking any chances. I think that shows the respect that London have for Phoenix and their ability to attack. So special teams unit come on, but who knows? Who knows whether or not in a game as big as this, any trickery will be apparent.
Can't hold anything back now.
So the Warriors can't add to the Newport, Watson and
it's a low snap. They're really struggling, but he gets it away that time.
And once again, slip. And as he slips, Jack Verlin, to try and make amends for his last error, decides to pick that up and picks up a couple of yards. So the Phoenix will take over with this next offensive possession. As I was saying, Warriors not able to add to the Watson, Sabawali or Newport touchdowns from the first quarter. Well, 2 in the first quarter and 1 in the second. And the Phoenix will get another attempt, as actually things seem to be significantly brightening up weather-wise here, George, as well.
I mean, there's brighter and there's...
Well,
yeah.
It's brighter than we started.
The rain stopped, that's for sure.
Daly fakes that pass and it's handed off this time, and it's Elliot Walters with the carry.
Maybe picking up a couple of yards, running 20 yards laterally to pick up 2 yards going forward.
Brings up 2nd and 8. So, even though it's only 2 yards, it is 2 positive yards, no flags, which obviously Coach Scott will be eager to try and avoid. In far too many at the moment. A little screen. It's a beautiful pickup, but they're going to say that one hit the floor. A one hopper intended for Sam Huxtable, but it's ruled incomplete. So once again, Phoenix find themselves in 3rd and long territory.
See if we can pick it up on this replay. Fakes that handoff to his running back, and it goes low. And I think he touched the ground before he picked it up.
So let's see if Daly in the offense can pick up this 3rd down yardage in order to keep this drive going. They do need to try and help their own defense and stay off the field a little bit, and there's pressure, and Daly now has to tuck it and run it. He does have space, and he's got space, and there's a block there from Walters, and he's going to get enough for a first down and picks up 10 yards, but there is a flag in the vicinity of holding once again. Here we go from referee Wickham.
Holding, offense, number 60. 10 yards, still 3rd down.
And unfortunately, the Phoenix hurting themselves once more.
Yeah, they've had one too many of these holding calls today.
Really good pressure there from Junior Eredua off the left end of the Warriors' defensive line, number 46 there, and forced Daly to step up, and that's where the hold then occurred as he beat his man. He was given little option but to grab a little bit of jersey. So what was 3rd and 8 now becomes 3rd and 17, 18 for Tamworth. See what Daly can produce here. He's got to go to the air really. Good big pressure again. Ball is swung out and it's Walters, and Walters picks up the penalty yardage, but then he's met by Sam Obi, number 24 for the Warriors.
Oh, and seems to be 1 or 2 issues there as looks like number 28, Adam Hope, comes out of the little bit of a pile-up.
And he is, he's met on the field by one of the coaching staff for the Warriors.
Looks a little bit wobbly.
Hope jogs himself off the field, and it will bring up 4th down. Swings the ball out there to Walters. Nice pass and catch, and Walters has got a lot to do at that point. And Obi comes in, stands him up. Makes a good tackle. Can't really see what happened there.
And there's Hope going down there as well.
Yeah, and then gets back to his feet, but
didn't look overly comfortable, that's for sure.
Definitely not. So Amos back deep to return. Banazabi looking to put this ball high into the Leeds sky to give his kick coverage team time to get downfield, and that's going to be a flag because there was a man jogging onto the field late for the Phoenix.
Full start, offense, number 26. He never set, he was running in when the ball was snapped. 5 yards, 4th down.
So yeah, Cassian Graham there running onto the field and was never set, and therefore it was a false start. As that ball was snapped, which sends the Phoenix even further back and gives Amos another great opportunity. But will Banazabi do what he did previously and kick away from him? Probably not a bad suggestion. That ball goes down the field to the left-hand side, takes a Warriors bounce, and then skittles out just across midfield, where the Warriors will pick up possession. If you're wanting to pick up more than possession, then EP Sports are bringing us coverage today. EP Sports helping today's stream possible. As the UK's premier supplier of equipment and accessories, they are the first stop for players from all over Europe. Check them out at www.epsports.co.uk, and they have their travelling shop down here this afternoon in South Leeds Stadium. It's a fantastic travelling shop that they have. Real wide variety of equipment and merchandise, NFL merchandise as well they bring down. So thanks to EP for all their support this afternoon. Get involved with the show, as we've already read a few out, as this time it's Sobowala once again to the left side, bounced off the first tackle and stays on his feet before he's ushered out of bounds by Nelson Charles Nwofo.
He's proven to be a very, very talented running back today. A real asset for this offense.
Good lateral pursuit that time by the Phoenix defense. Only picking up a yard on first down this time, the Warriors.
He can do a little bit of everything though in that backfield. He can run hard, straight, direct, and he can step one or two people when he needs to.
So after a lightning start to the first quarter, things have slowed a little bit as, that ball is just over the head of the defender, and it's Benjamin who picks up the first down and more. Those little receiver screens that were passed out to the flat working very well for the Warriors.
It was Will Jepson, number 31 of the Phoenix, that read the screen, but the high pass just over his head.
Nick Jackets obviously saw him there and tailored that throw appropriately, floated it over to Benjamin. Saw Benjamin had loads of time, no defenders near him at that point, and Benjamin manages to pick up another London first down. So this time twins either side for Jackets. 5 men obviously therefore on that offensive line, man in motion. This time there is a jet sweep, and the lateral pursuit looks good at the moment. It's Newport with the carry, and Newport once again is ushered out of bounds, but I don't think he's going to pick up much at all, maybe 2-3 yards on the play.
Good work by the Tamworth Phoenix defense coming towards the left-hand side of the offense, trying to stop him short.
So here we go then. 2nd and 8 for the Warriors on this latest offensive possession. Moving the ball, marching the ball. Handed off once again, breaks the first tackle, breaks the second tackle, and he's off to the races. He's at the 10, the 5, steps inside his man at the 5-yard line. No flags, touchdown, Sobowala, and the lead is back out to 2 scores.
What a great run by him, and again he showed what he can do. He can do everything he needs to. Even managed to stay on his feet as he went through the end zone line. Some great running by him, reading his blocks as well.
So patient, real patient to start with, makes his first man miss, and then it's just strength. There was a question whether he stepped out of bounds here when he didn't, nowhere near.
Definitely in.
Nowhere
and
near.
Stays on his feet as he goes through.
So Sobowala's second rushing score of the afternoon. And on comes Ian Jackett to attempt the extras. And the kick is up, and this time he is good. So the score goes to the London Warriors 27, the Tamworth Phoenix 14. So Tamworth find themselves in a similar hole to that which they did in the first quarter. 3:30 left to the half. We'll be able to go back into the studio at half-time and join Carl and Tash to get a review of the first quarter action and their thoughts about what the second half may bring. But at the moment, the Phoenix needs something quick. Remember, last time they went 2 scores down, but Azabi managed to find a little bit of magic and took the ball 96 yards back to the house on the kick return.
Of course, the Warriors will be aware that he's in that backfield lurking, as it were.
Well, let's see, this time they decide to kick away from him, which is sensible, which means that Huxtable is going to field this one at his 14-yard line. And he gets round the edge. It's another good, it's a good run. That's got to be some sort of face mask penalty, horse collar, something. His head seemed to get ripped around, but I didn't. The replay officials spring into action as the tempers flare down on the field, but the way that Huxtable's head was turned there, that's...
Yeah, see if we can pick it up on this this camera down the sideline. Certainly looks like they've called for the review, and it does look like it's going to be a face mask from the review. We'll see if we can spot it here as he gets yanked back. There you go, big grasp around the face.
That is number 26, Steve Hull, guilty of that face mask penalty. So another good return by the Phoenix return man, this time Huxtable, but they'll get some yardage tagged onto that as well for the personal foul. You know, we started this little competition between
we've won.
Us and
like,
Bafra.
They're so far behind.
We keep getting complimentary nods when we're calling stuff. Surprise nods, sort of this sort of
Personal foul, face mask, 56 black, 15 yards to the end of the run, first down.
We called that 2 minutes ago, sir.
We did. Pretty obvious one though, when the runner's head ends up facing the opposite way to his body.
Of course, though, Bafra, a key member of the British football community.
So here we go then. Daly and the Phoenix offense have a spark. They're inside Warriors territory, rather, with 1:31 left in the first half of Britbowl 32. Can Daly and this offense produce the magic we know they are capable of? He has time again. He's got lots of time. He overthrows Ben Burslem, and Ben Burslem had real estate in front of him to run into.
It kind of landed in between Burslem and number 88, the receiver on the far side, Will Hussey.
Axel Brown, 88, if that's who.
Sorry, 89.
Okay, sorry.
89. I looked at one number and said a different name.
So 2nd and 10, Daly and the offense. You feel they need to get something before half-time here. We've seen them bounce back from 2 before. And Daly keeps this one off to the left side. Beautiful read again. He's at the 20, pushed out of bounds at the 21-yard line, but another big first down. And Daly does that very well. That's a read option where he sticks the ball in, reads what that defensive end's going to do, and at that point made exactly the right choice again. Pulled it and picks up big yardage for the Phoenix.
Whilst the Phoenix runners haven't shown what they can do yet, you always have to account for them. They've got some real talented runners, and if you don't try and meet them on the line, and the issue is if you do, you've got Daly to worry about. So,
looking this time for Sam Huxtable again, and that ball is low and didn't really give Huxtable much of a chance, and Daly was eyeballing Huxtable all the way on that last play.
Yeah.
It was just going back to the previous one on that QB read, it was Naeem Campbell playing defensive end on the far side who really bit on the fake to Elliot Walters, and therefore you saw Daly's eyes on the replay just fixed on his man and think, right, I've got some room to run around that left side. But anyway, 2nd and 10 now. Twins either side for Daly, and this time the ball is handed up to Walters, and Walters gets 6 yards up the middle. Apologies, you'll see the clock is now at 2 minutes. We haven't yet had the 2-minute warning, but that I think will be the 2-minute warning. Indeed, it is. So at the 2-minute warning here in Leeds, we have Britbowl 32.
This is the 2-minute warning. There are 2 minutes in the half.
So Britbowl 32 comes to the half. 2 minutes remaining. London Warriors 27, but the Tamworth Phoenix driving and threatening. 17 yards away from cutting the Warriors' lead, and boy, do they need that to happen. The Warriors will be receiving the ball first in the second half, and Daly takes off on a design QB run again. He's through. He's at the 5. He steps in. He scores. No flags. Touchdown, Phoenix. Again, Daly obviously saw that coverage, relied heavily on that blocking, Goodness me, this one just keeps getting better and better.
Certainly couldn't ask for a better final, that's for sure. And we said a similar thing last year, as these scores just keep racking up, yet the scoreline stays so close.
Big David Pemberton, number 70 there, leading the way. And obviously we never, well, we say we never, I feel we are quite good at giving O-line the credit. But whenever we can read out a name like that, big David Pemberton. I don't think the Warriors could see Daly behind David Pemberton there. Wall on his own, and the kick is up from Benazabi and good. And we have a 6-point ball game with 1:54 left in the first half here at Britball 32. Get in touch with us here at the show. Let's see what we've got on the Twitter. Oh, loads coming in from you. Great to know that people are with us. Where have we got? David Butler, Coach D. Butler, number 35 for London Warriors, is a beast. You are not wrong. Sobowala, 2 scores on the afternoon so far. M.Man44, chilling, watching my Warrior brother before I take the field tomorrow with my Exiles brothers. Indeed, tomorrow is the Division 1 final here from South Leeds between the Leicester Falcons and the Kent Exiles. We'll be bringing you that one once again with Onside Productions. So join us for that one if you can. Kickoff is 2 p.m. tomorrow for the Division 1 final. One more before we see this kickoff, and the kick does get underway as Amos fields the ball at his 4, and he has a chance to open his stride, and he's up past the 30, still on his feet at the 40, and is taken down on the 42-yard line. Lindsay Robson watching Britball 32 while tailgating the Hurricanes in Miami. Let's go Knicks. College football, the NCAA, well underway over in the States. Miami Hurricanes obviously in action tonight, as is much of the country indeed, on a Saturday night over in the States. Mathos football, loving the coverage of Britball 32, and think the London Warriors will win it. A prediction there from Mathos football. As we see Amos there, step inside, makes 2 men miss, picks up the extra couple of yards before he's brought down. We'll bring you some more tweets as we go this afternoon, but keep them rolling in. Great to see that so many of you are enjoying the coverage this afternoon. So here we go, Jacket and the Warriors offense. We know they can strike quickly. Let's see if they can strike within 1 minute 39 as they start this series with a run. And that is sealed quickly as another late flag comes out.
That flag on that play.
You've got to think that's going to be against the Phoenix again.
See what they call it. Was after the runner went down as well. And looking at the Phoenix, it looks like it may be on number 21.
Dan Hampton, yeah. So you've got to say, I mean, the Phoenix are in this one, but they're making it difficult for themselves. Making it very difficult for themselves. The Warriors will just keep pounding and pounding and pounding. When you have that tandem of Watson and Sobowala, there's not really any reason to do anything else. You've obviously got a threat with Jacket's arm to Benjamin. We've seen that so far.
After review, there is no flag on the play.
So indeed, our video replays come to the rescue of the Phoenix, and that flag is waved off.
It certainly works both ways.
It's good to see as well.
Yeah, very much so after that Anthony Norton dismissal at the start of the first quarter.
So 2nd and 9 for the Warriors. Can they punch another one in, or are they going to go conservative? Well, this time they hand it off to Watson, and Watson doesn't get much met by Dan Shadipo, amongst others.
Yeah, dragged down in the backfield. Great work by the linebacker core there.
3rd and 9 upcoming. And you've got to start thinking as the clock continues to tick whether or not the Phoenix will maybe conserve some time to see if they can get anything of their own. But at the moment, that clock does continue to tick. Under a minute remaining. Jacket and the offense, are they going to go conservative? They have 2 running backs this time, 2 receivers, 2 running backs. You'd think it was conservative. Benjamin
maybe trying to just run down this clock.
And they do hand off once again, and that's a big hole for Watson, and Watson picks up a first down, and he's on his feet still at the 30, the 20, the 15, the 10. Oh, great touchdown saving tackle at the end, but wow, he's just like a pinball. Dwayne Watson.
Will Hobbs, the man that tracked him down like a...
And Hobbs really whiffed a tackle there in the middle and then puts the burners on to try and get him close to his own end zone. I thought he was going in there, but Hobbs looking, and he looks to try and strip the ball as well, does Hobbs. Manages to bring him down on the 5-yard line.
Timeout, Warriors. That's their first timeout.
But this game just keeps giving and giving. But what a dagger this would be in the Phoenix hopes if the Warriors were to take this one in, bearing in mind that they will receive the ball at the start of the second half as well.
Despite all the blown tackling, it was good defensive tracking by Will Hobbs to recover one is whiff tackle, but of course Wayne Drew, 97, the defensive lineman, who was also so close to bringing him down as well.
And when you think that'll really disappoint the Phoenix run defense, they've bottled them up on first and second down, brought up 3rd and 9, done exactly what they wanted to do. But then you've got to give credit to that Warriors offensive line and the straight ahead vertical running of Dwayne Watson. So, 1st and goal, Warriors, after that barraging run. I don't think he changed direction once as he went through the different levels.
Yeah,
and
bing,
this
bing,
time,
bing.
this time it was Sobowala looking for his hat-trick of scores on the afternoon. Comes up short.
Warriors
At 17 seconds,
likely to have called another timeout
for the Warriors.
Now, what will we see here? Will we see a first half goal line stand, or will we see the Warriors take that lead back out to 2 scores?
The way the Warriors have run this football today, you'd think, or I think you'd be daft not to go with the Warriors. But
if you're a betting man, you've got to put your money on either Watson or Sobowala to take this one in as the Phoenix defenders try and raise the noise level in this South Leeds Stadium. 17 seconds.
The Warriors haven't passed this football much during this second quarter, but why would you when you can run like they've run?
Well, if I'm perfectly honest as well, if you think of the two, on a couple of the occasions, the few occasions they have passed, the first one down the sideline early in the game to Benjamin, which picked up 40 yards, then that touchdown down the middle to Newport, which was another big play. It's almost like they've used the pass to set up this run.
Very much so, and there'll be a real worry, actually. I think that there's a timeout. It looks like Tamworth are calling a timeout here. There's Wayne Drew signals, but there'll be a real worry for Tamworth that they get so used to trying to defend the run that the pass then reopens. And they need to be wary of that, moving not just through this last 17 seconds, but through the 3rd and 4th quarter as well.
So once again, Britball 32 is brought to you by EP Sports. EP isn't just a clothing equipment store for players. Their team sales specialists can help your team with any equipment you may need and offer the best value in the UK. For more information, they can be contacted using sales@epsports.co.uk. Get in touch with the guys up there at EP and they will sort out all your football needs. So, with 17 seconds left in the half, Jackett returns to the huddle with instructions from his offensive coordinator. If I was a betting man, I would be looking to give this one to big number 35, Sobowala, who will be looking for his 3rd rushing score of the afternoon. He does indeed get the ball, and he's close to the goal line, crosses the goal line, and he's in for his 3rd score of the afternoon. London's 5th. 33-21 Warriors. Now, you've really got to think with, realistically, unless Benazabi can produce another rabbit from a hat, that will be the scoring done of the first half. And Tamworth are going to have some tough talk in there from coach Jason Scott.
Yeah, 2 scores down, and of course Tamworth won't be used to this either. We know they didn't have such a great run through Europe, but how often have they been through or been down this much in the domestic game? It's just unheard of this year.
I was given a stat before the game. I think there are a number of players on the Tamworth side who are currently on a 39-game domestic winning streak. And that's those guys who played not only for the Tamworth Phoenix but also for the University of Nottingham. Obviously, last season they went domestic season undefeated and won it all, beating the Blitz in the final. The University of Nottingham's students then went undefeated in Division 1 and won their playoff final to get promotion. And obviously so far up until this point, the Tamworth Phoenix, obviously domestic, so not including the European games, have gone undefeated once again.
But you can't take anything away from these Warriors. They have just strived to get this football into the end zone and done so repeatedly. And what a great showing for them in the first half. 34 points and still 12 seconds to go. Who knows?
Do you know what? Ordinarily, looking at that scoreline, a team scoring 34 points in one half, you'd consider that they would have been the dominant force. But there have been lots of big plays. There haven't really been many sustained drives from either team. Lots of big plays, and as a result, big points. 55 combined points in this first half of play.
Will we touch 100?
Jacket kicks off, and once again he goes to the left as he looks to Huxtable, keeping it away from the danger man Benazabi. And Huxtable has got a little bit of space, and he looks to try and get round to his left-hand side, but he's snagged and eventually pulled down at the 20-yard line, and that will, I think, run out the clock in the first half as we wait for referee Wickham to either spot the ball or hold it aloft, and indeed he spots the ball. You've got to be thinking at this stage that the Phoenix will take a knee, lick their wounds, go into half-time and come out.
I think might be a discussion actually as to whether the officials have got that right. But
no, I think they're waving play in, so that play clock is now under.
Roger Goodgroves, hands in the air, saying it should have been half-time. I want my burger. But Roger, nobody's bought a burger van, so you're staying hungry.
Nevertheless, you wouldn't expect the Phoenix to do anything too aggressive here, although
I think 2 scores down, 2 seconds left. Why not risk it?
This could easily flip the other way. One poor decision from Daly, one miraculous play, and he does drop back to pass. He's looking down the field. He zips the ball over to Burslem, and Burslem is tripped. And a great tackle by number 52 there, James Armar, to end the half, as the ball will be raised by referee Wickham. The Warriors leave the field. The Phoenix will soon do the same. And at half-time here at Britbowl 32, we have a score of the London Warriors 34 and the Tamworth Phoenix 21.
Wow, welcome back to Britbowl 32. It's the half-time show with what do you make of that? 55 points in a half.
That's an insane half. I'm not being funny, but compared to last year, I think that is the best Britbowl half I have potentially ever seen. There has been everything. We've seen ejections, we've seen incredible touchdowns. I mean, that kick return.
I know.
Oh,
amazing.
It's been a great half. We want to hear what you think. Don't forget the hashtag Britbowl32. Tweet us. Tell us what you think.
It's been a fantastic half so far. We're joined by Dale and by Phil. They're with us again to talk you through the first half. 55 combined points, and we got a score currently of 34-21. Phil, your reaction to the first half?
It's been an outstanding advert for British football, first of all. Both teams giving their all. Yeah. Second thing, just way too many mistakes. Penalties by the Tamworth offensive line, a couple of muff punts, a long snap, a bad long snap by the Warriors, but a great, solid football team, football game.
And Dale, did we think at the beginning of that first half, did we think the Warriors were going to run away with it? They jump out to an early 14-0 lead.
Yeah, I was just saying to a couple of guys in that first quarter where I was a bit concerned it was going to be run away, but Phoenix showed their energy and have come back strong. But the Warriors score at the last few seconds is a bit difficult for Phoenix to come back from, yeah.
I mean, so Phil, you were saying about how the penalties and how mistakes have been really, really costing the teams. So we actually found out that Tamworth, offence and special teams penalties, actually come up to 70 yards. I mean, that could have changed their game without that.
Exactly. You know, when the Warriors were punting and there was a muff fair catch, right? Possession went right back to the Warriors. So that was a missed opportunity for the Phoenix. There was also another punt that was actually muffed as well. That's 2 turnovers, giving the offense straight back to the ball.
They did. They seemed to have trouble handling those punt snaps. And then we had the ejection as well. That was a controversial call, wasn't it? Dale, you had a good view of that. You talked me through it. What did you see on that play?
Yeah, I managed to see the
Tamworth
replay
Phoenix player ejected.
on the phone. It looked like the player came in from the Tamworth side, obviously, and he came in nice and low. and he looked like he led with his head. So the refs have obviously seen that was helmet-to-helmet contact while the running back was going backwards, and that's enough for an official to call it. Yeah.
And I think that that's what's been great, is the fact they have been able to do these video replays and the reviews, because from what me and Phil saw from our seat, we went, that is not an ejection, because we were at a complete wrong angle to see it, so we were quite shocked by it. But the fact that you've actually managed to see the replay, and it was. Yeah,
and it's quite a big call in the first quarter too. You know, there's a lot of the game to go, and to have that decision go against you is quite difficult.
But it's worth reminding people, I guess, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, there was one face cage though that was actually face mask that wasn't called on the field, but was actually called down from the sidelines.
That's right. Yeah, I was going to remind people, in the Britbowl we have, next to the guys Matt and George that are commentating, there's a whole bank of screens, and the referees are watching the plays there. And you're right, some of the plays, if they miss it, there's referees up in the booth, a bit like the NFL. They call down to the referee, and that call comes in, and that's where they got the face mask from. And I guess that's how they're so clear that it was an ejection on that Tamworth player.
So we're going to go from the bottom up.
Why not? Go for it.
So obviously, like what you said, Warriors, their touchdown right at the end.
Absolutely. So, you know, you start, I guess, with those two big running backs, and in the end of the half, we saw how powerful they are again. Big run from Watson, and then running back taking it in.
But it was what was surprising. It was so late in the half, coming off the back of a Tamworth touchdown within 2 minutes. Yeah. So the Tamworth defense got to tighten that up a little bit.
I think that shows how Warriors can react. Warriors can react to those big plays where they go, right, you've hit us, now we're going to hit you right back, and we're going to make that gap even bigger.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't take anything away from Tony Allen's boys. They are fast, they're hitting hard, and they're going for everything that they have.
Yeah, there's been some big aggressive hits coming in from both teams, some blocks that you can hear in the stands. We've got a big crowd here, and they were excited by some of those hits that are going in, weren't they, Dale?
Yeah, there's a massive Phoenix crowd here. You can really hear the noise. A couple of my friends actually came back inside because it was so loud and their ears were hurting. So it's awesome to see that from them.
The block on the Warriors number 55 was an awesome block. Oh my goodness! I felt that all the way in the upper deck.
I mean, I've had one of those hits before, and I can tell you it's not pretty. And the aftermath of one of those hits is not pretty.
They do seem to time them well to finish, because you often see those flagged, don't you? You'll see them flagged because they get slightly behind the player, and then it's a block in the back, it's a legal hit. But when they're in front of the player like that, you can still come in and just take a player out.
It's those blindside hits that the crowd loves. It's one of those where you're going to love a blindside hit.
And obviously, we think the player's fine. We're just watching it on the screen here. You can see on number 55.
I didn't see that, but that is big, yeah. That was really big.
If you like big hitting football, you're in the right place for this game, because it really has been some tremendous hits going in. Watching some more highlights there. We're just watching some more hits. Here's the block again.
Here it is, an absolute blindside, and there it is.
Yeah, Tamworth are really favouring that swing out the backfield. Warriors are struggling to cover that well. So.
Well, also the Warriors are actually favouring their screen pass as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, and they're making big yards on it. They're making about 8 yards a pass.
Both teams sticking to the game plan, I guess, in terms of, you know, the running game from the Warriors being dominant early on. And then, of course, that kick return, which was an amazing momentum switch for Tamworth. Venabazia, I believe it was. Have I got that name right?
Mark Bonazibi.
Mark Bonazibi. And he's had a massive impact on the game.
I think they're starting to kick away from him because he didn't return the last one. But he had the opening kickoff. He got down to about the 25, and he just missed taking it to the open field. When the Warriors scored their first touchdown, he again had another big run. And then on their second touchdown, he just took it all the way back to the house. So I think they're trying to keep the ball out of his hands at this point.
I mean, Dale, who's been your standout player?
It's been the running back for the Warriors, I think. But he's been helped by a huge Warriors defensive line. They're getting some great movement on the Phoenix D-line, and that's something Phoenix have to really sort out at half-time.
I think Patrick Daly for the Tamworth has been, finding his receivers, whether they be a receiver or someone coming out of the backfield, and also keeping the ball himself. He's been probably the one player on the Phoenix that's been standing out.
I was going to say that because obviously, if you think about it, as much as Warriors hit back with that touchdown, just before Warriors got that end final touchdown, Patrick Daly just suddenly out of nowhere ran it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, and he has to come to life, because if they can stop the run with people like Adam Hope and others, then Patrick Daly is going to have to be the man they go to. And again, he's delivering, and again, he's avoiding those tackles and finding ways to get into the end zone. So slippery.
Yep. I think it's going to be an exciting second half.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of the running game for Tamworth, do they need to get that going? It seems to me they've not been able to really generate that running game, and that they had 187 yards last game. Where's that gone?
I think the O-line is struggling with the size of the Warriors' D-line and linebackers. I think they can get a running game going, perhaps using some option with Daly. Maybe they've got that in the tank. That would be really useful for them.
I was just going to say, I completely agree with you, because if you look at it, like what you're saying with the screens for Daly to run through, those have been working, but...
It's funny because you just take a look at the number of holding calls that they've been on running plays. They can't move these guys. They can stand them up, but they can't move them to open the holes.
Yeah, and there was a couple of plays where you had the offensive pass interference call as well, where I think the blocker thought that Pat Daly was going to run, but he got held up. So it's difficult to read, I guess, whether Pat Daly's going to scramble with the ball or whether he's dropping back to pass it.
Just a bit of miscommunications. They'll sort that out at halftime here.
Yeah, so we've had Tamworth come back from 2 scores down already. They then got a score back, but it's gone back to that 2-score buffer for these Warriors. What do Tamworth have to do in this second half to get their way back in?
Stop them from scoring this opening drive.
Yeah.
If the Warriors score this opening drive, I think it'll be curtains for Tamworth.
Yeah, for me, they have to contain the run. And again, like Phil said, if you can stop on this first drive and get a score back, it's game on.
Warriors are receiving at the start of this half. Do you think that that's going to have an effect now on Tamworth, with the fact that they don't have that chance now to receive for the first time?
Absolutely. As I said, if the Warriors can score on this, even a field goal will be be devastating for the Phoenix.
So what are the keys then for this defense for Tamworth? They have to stop this running game, don't they? I mean, and they do look physically bigger, the Warriors. I don't know whether you noticed that, but they do look physically bigger. It seems like Tamworth are relying on technique and coaching, and it feels like they're getting a little bit bullied in this ground game.
Tamworth is containing the Warriors' passing game pretty well, except for that first opening play, where the guy just bit. But you're absolutely right. It just looked like they're getting bullied on the Tamworth D-line. Just looks like they're getting bullied. I
want to talk about that when that DB bit, actually, the Tamworth DB that bit on that. It was the Warriors' first drive, and that the Tamworth DB completely got caught off guard. I remember me and you were watching it, and we even thought that the run was happening, and I think that's what started. That's what set the scene, I think, for Tamworth, wasn't it?
But since then, there's been a lot of great play-action plays. And both teams have been biting. Not so much as it has been before, but I think the passes won't be as long. They'll be shorter passes, but there'll still be those play actions.
So, who's going to win this second half? We have currently, I mean, we got your predictions early on. You both went for the Warriors, I believe, at the beginning.
No, Dale went Phoenix.
Dale went Phoenix. Dale? You can't change your mind, mate, but you can. What do you think?
I'm sticking with the Phoenix. I think they're going to come back.
Wow.
I think they do. I think they can come back and win it by 3 still. I'm going to go with those guys.
I think the Warriors are going to get some points on this opening drive and then just control the second half.
Okay.
Excellent. Tash, are you going to make a prediction, or are you sitting on the fence? Commentator's privilege.
So my problem is, I'm from the south, so I'm from Southampton, so I'm closer to London than I am to Tamworth. However, I live in Stoke.
Oh, so you have
which is right next door. So I'm on the fence. I'm going to say I'm in the middle. I can't give an answer.
No, I guess that's commentator's privilege. And as I'm talking, nobody gets an opportunity to ask me anyway, so that's fine.
Who do you want to pick? Who do you want to win this?
Well, I originally thought it was going to be Phoenix, but Warriors have a 14-point lead, so you'd be a fool at this point to bet against the Warriors with that running game. But it's all to play for. We've seen the time with Phoenix come back from 14 points down. Can they do it again? We haven't heard anything from Josh Amos, have we? I mean, we've had those returners from Tamworth, but was expecting a big return from Josh Amos. Maybe he will be the difference in the second half. We'll have to wait and see. We're going to take a quick break, and then we will join you again for the second half of this fantastic competition. Britbowl 32 second half coming up after this.
My food.
give me a shout though, because so we'll just start with bringing you the latest gossip.
What's the latest?
We are back. It's Britbowl 32. Phoenix against the Warriors. We've just had some gossip, haven't we?
We have. We're hearing rumours about why that Tamworth Phoenix ground game can't get going. Dale, do you want to give us what you've heard?
Yeah, I believe Adam Hope was down with a head injury. I'm not sure how it's been assessed, but that was why I wasn't playing too much in that second quarter. Yeah.
I noticed that number 5 was carrying the football a few times.
Yeah, they've got a stable of backs, so I think they're kind of getting every few guys a few reps in.
I think what we need to do though is head over to that the end of the first quarter with number 52, Tamworth Phoenix. We were actually going to talk about Shadipo, weren't we, in the pre-game, but we just didn't get the chance to. What was his stats in the last game that he played?
He had 3.5. The reason we pointed him out was just he had 3.5 sacks in the last game. Wayne Drew, I think, had 3 sacks. And they are getting to this quarterback, Nick Jacquet. But the ground game is really saving them. But, you know, that pass rush for Tamworth is really going to have to come up big. And my sense of it is, and the reason we pointed him out, is because he's going to have to make a big play in this second half and get this ball turned over.
And I think that's... We've seen the rain hold off. The rain, since the game's begun, the rain has held off. So we've actually been able to see Pat Daly being able to throw that ball, give those quick shootouts, get those screens in. It's one of those where, as much as we keep talking about the run game, I have a feeling that now that the air's kind of clearing up a bit, we will see a lot more balls in the end, especially those long balls, because we haven't actually seen any of those really, really long passes that we saw last year.
With the exception, really, of the first play from the Warriors, there hasn't been anything thrown much beyond 10 yards.
Yeah, he's just watching a short touchdown from Pat Daly to James Hossack there to tidy up the scoring for these Tamworth Phoenix. How big are these turnovers going to be in the second half? We've seen a lot of turnovers already, but how big is turnovers going to be in this second half for these two teams now?
It can't happen. It can't happen. The Phoenix cannot afford a turnover in the second half. They need to get the ball and hold the ball every opportunity to try to put points on the board. If not, they need to give their defense a long field to play with. There was 2 turnovers in the first half, which was just around the 50-yard line. You can't do that to your defense.
Yeah. I'm just going to turn our attention to something. So, ex-Warrior Vernon Kay
has
made an appearance at Britball 32.
Hi, you alright?
How are you finding the game?
Good to see you, Vernon.
How did I find it? I drove.
And he's a comedian.
How are you finding the game, Vernon? Have you? When did you get here? Just now?
No, I got here about an hour and a half before the game.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's a competitive game. You can never count the Phoenix out of it, even though the Warriors are winning by a couple of scores minus the field, got an extra point. 2 great teams, very physical, bit of banter on the field as well, which is always good in the UK game. Yeah, I think it's going to be a close fought second half.
And are you missing it, Vernon, not being out on the field when you come here as an ex-player?
100%. 100%. It's the best game to play, best team sport, I think, to play, because I know it's a cliche, but everyone's got a job to do, and if you don't do your job properly, then the whole team, the whole machine implodes, blah, 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 blah. And that's why I think American football is great for kids, and I think that's why all of us as a collective for the British game should push flag football and get young kids into American football.
Do you think that flag is the way forward to start getting the British game especially?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's an introduction to the basic game, the basic rules of American football, because people say, it goes on forever. Yeah, but so does tennis, so does cricket, so does snooker. Every other major sport apart from soccer or football that we play in the UK goes on forever. But yeah, go Warriors. I'm getting the wind-up sign, you see.
Well, thank you for coming to join us.
No problem. Pleasure. Well done. Great
Vernon
work.
Kay, thank you very much for joining us. Fantastic to see you, and good luck.
Good
luck to the Warriors. Obviously, you'll be wishing them good luck.
Yeah, of course I will.
All right, so we are going to get back to the game. It's George Lees and Matt Walker in the booth for the second half kickoff. Here we go.
Well done, sir.
Nice to see you. Cheers, Steve.
Oh, that's so funny.
Sorry.
Phil, you all right?
We're not going to kick off anytime soon, Phil.
Yes, and I can kick off anytime soon. Phil, you are a true professional. You didn't fall off the camera.
On to this Phoenix outfit.
Yeah, well picked up. We'll see if the Warriors can...
So apologies if you didn't have any sound there at the beginning of that second half. Banazabi getting half underway with another high short kick. Great to see Vernon Kay there making an appearance in the studio at half-time.
Yeah, we should probably tell him that he's not getting paid for that appearance, but I'm sure a Warriors win here will do him just cause.
But nevertheless, Jacket goes to work on first down, and the ball is out of the reach. Just floating out of bounds, but that defender over there was turned inside out. And had that ball been on point, that could have been 6 more straight off the bat at the beginning of this second half for the Warriors.
Yeah, great play that time. Couldn't find his receiver.
So, 2nd and 10 upcoming. If you've just joined us for the second half, as the ball is handed off to that big man, Sobowale, once again. No flags, although he did get twisted significantly. Yes, if you just joined us, welcome to Britbowl 32. I am joined by George Lees, as ever, and I'm Matt Walker. If you have just joined us, where have you been? Apologies that he drops back off 5 yards forward, and we'll bring up 3rd and 2. So here we go then. Some first half stats for you as we wait for this 3rd down. In fact, it was a false start rather than an encroachment penalty. False start against the Warriors, so it'll march them back.
Although it's not actually marched them back, they are still 3rd and 8.
Well, 3rd and 12, in fact. 3rd and 12.
You're right, I'm looking at the wrong marker. I apologise. And another flag.
As he pops the ball out to Benjamin.
Vuvuzela's causing trouble all over.
This first part of the second half is strewn with flags. So as we await the resumption of this, as they get the flags, end of the stats for the first half. For the Warriors, Nick Jacket, 5 out of 7 for 117 yards and a score. And for Pat Daly, through the air, 9 out of 16 for 60 yards and 1 touchdown. On the ground for the Warriors, Sobowale, 165 yards, 4 TDs.
Before the play began, the defense entered the neutral zone, causing a reaction.
Sorry, 165 yards, 4 TDs for the team. Sobowale contributed 97 of those yards and 3 scores. And for the Tamworth Phoenix, their rushing accounts for the first half, 63 yards and 1 score. Quarterback Patrick Daly accounting for 53 of those and that lone rushing touchdown. As Jacket flips the ball out, looking for number 9, Stuart Malloy, who makes the reception and does have enough for a first down for the Warriors. Good work there on 3rd and long. Great pass protection you'll see for Jacket, and Jacket manages to flip the ball out to his right. Beautifully timed ball, which brings up that latest Warriors first down.
Yeah, some nice pass protection that time by the Warriors offensive line. Plenty of time for Jacket to get that completion.
A lot of space out to the left for Benjamin as the ball is handed off. And the runner is met by Ashley Miller to begin with, after a pickup of 1.
Tamworth perhaps making some adjustments to try and stop this running game early on. It's really cost them in that first quarter, in that first half.
Is there a way back in for this Phoenix team in this second half?
I think so. I think you're only 2 scores down as Vernon Kay walks across the sideline with what looks like a beverage of some sort. But I think absolutely they've got a strong chance of getting back into this game. 2 scores down if they can stop the Warriors here.
Little trick play reverse coming, and Newport has the ball and he's got space. Will Hobbs is in front of him and he goes round Will Hobbs. He gets the first down and more out past midfield to the Phoenix 45-yard line. Great little bit of trickery there. Reverse to Newport.
Yeah, good work, and Newport showing some wonderful work Great turn of speed as he got round the corner as well.
So you can see initially that ball is pitched out to Sobowalla, and then Newport takes the reverse and picks up a first down. Handoff again, Sobowalla. He's initially snagged in the backfield, but it takes 3 Phoenix players to bring him down. Picks up a yard and brings up second down. Slow to get up as well that time. And the type of tackle it was, he could have easily tweaked an ankle there and get back up and gingerly switches places with Watson.
Looked like Charles and Wufu there that made the tackle.
So second down as Sobowalla comes to the sideline. Benjamin comes to the near side with Stuart Malloy. Watson in the backfield and 1 further receiver to the top of your screen there. 2nd and 8 as Malloy comes in motion this time, and the ball is handed off to Watson, and Watson up the middle. Little trap play that picks up only another yard or so, and this is what the Phoenix did well in the first half, or at the end of the first half. Bottled up the run game for the first 2 plays and then let that big one go, which nearly resulted in a touchdown. As on comes Omazusi, screaming at Ashley Miller to leave the field, which he does.
Shadipo that time with the tackle. We've mentioned his name a couple of times. He's done some great work on the defense for the Phoenix.
So 3rd and 6 upcoming, maybe 7 with 11:23 left in this third period at Britbowl 32. Jacket goes to his left, hits Benjamin. It's a good tackle, but Benjamin used his strength and I think will be given the first down.
Dan Hampton, number 21 of the Phoenix, was the man that made the tackle, but I think you're right there. They're going to maybe move the chains.
Indeed, the chains are moving. First down, Warriors. And you have to think realistically, as much as we've seen these Phoenix come back from some deficits already today, another score may well be 1 score too far. As you see Benjamin there make the reception and plays live, and Watson this time carries a man with him. And actually, it's Omazusi who is carried that time. Picks up close to 3 yards, where it'll bring up second. Second and 8 for Jacket and the Warriors offense. Benjamin loses where the line of scrimmage is for a moment and then resets himself. Will Hobbs edges to the line, tempting the blitz, and Jacket with that one safety. He's got a man, he's got Newport at the 5, and it's touchdown Warriors! Could that be the nail to being beat? Score of the afternoon.
Yeah, getting themselves 3 scores up with a fair amount of time left to say. That's for sure. Stamping a mark early in this second half for the Warriors.
It's the last thing that Coach Scott and the Phoenix would have wanted coming out at half-time. They would have more than likely talked about the importance of a defensive stop on that first series.
And it looked, to be fair, that they were going to maybe pull it off early on.
Once again, played with that one high safety there, and as a result, Newport managed to find a seam just to Will Hobbs' right-hand side. Beat his own defender as well, and then once again, Newport was found in stride by Nick Jacket. 40-21 with the upcoming conversion to take it out to a 20-point Warriors lead here at Britbowl 32. So let's see if Ian Jacket, Nick's brother, can add the extra to extend this to the largest lead of the afternoon for the Warriors. The kick is up. The kick is good. London Warriors 41, Tamworth Phoenix 21. Britbowl 32 here from South Leeds Stadium, the John Charles Centre for Sport. So we'd love you to get in touch with us here this afternoon. Turning into evening here, this early September evening, the final weekend of Britball action, as we see once again the play action from Jacket. Acres of time, slides the ball over the safety and the cornerback, hits Newport, and that's Dan Hampton and Will Hobbs beaten on that play.
Yeah, great timing, just lofting it over the defensive back, just enough touch to get it over him and into the hands of Newport.
And Nick Jacket, the veteran of 2 Britbowl wins to his name, is not far away from adding a 3rd title to that already impressive resume. Jacket to kick off again, and the ball is up and high, and once again it's away from Benazabi, and it's going to be Huxtable once again at the 20. And the Warriors special teams unit seems to have got him snagged at the 25, but Huxtable manages to keep those legs pumping and get out past the 30 to the 31.
Yeah, those legs just kept driving there, as you said, nearly going down 5 yards on back from their 25-yard line, but just enough. But we've seen some great work from that Tamworth Phoenix special teams unit, certainly the kick return unit so far, and maybe they will be the team to bring them back into the game.
And Maeve, call me a pessimist, but you've got to say it's now or never for Tamworth.
Very much so.
If they come up empty on this drive, they will give themselves a mountain to climb, not only against the Warriors' score, but also against the clock as well. So Daly in the offense with twins to the left and twins to the right. One runner to his left. Let's see if he can get this Phoenix offense going on their first offensive series of the second half. Warriors threatening blitz. Those 2 linebackers come. Oh, it's picked! And it is picked by number 20, and that's Daniel McKenzie. And McKenzie, that could... Well, I've said it already 3 or 4 times, but how many opportunities are you going to give this Warriors team? But what a great reaction pick, because that ball came flying out of Daly's hands. And McKenzie came out of nowhere, read him. I don't think Daly saw him at all. And I thought at one point he could be in, and it's Elliot Walters that makes the tackle, and it could be a touchdown-saving, championship-saving tackle.
Yeah, and that was great work by those Warriors defenders there. As you say, such quick reactions to pick that ball off straight out of the air, and not the start that Phoenix will have wanted, that's for sure. And
well, it's
London just outside of their own 20-yard line as well.
Sorry for interrupting you, George. It's one thing going 14 points down. It's another thing going 14 points down at the start of the second half to then add on to the already, well, impressive lead that they did have. As this time we have a new quarterback in the game, and there's a flag on the play. This time it's Danapoli Williams who checks into quarterback.
Looks like.
And Williams with a read option there, but that could well be, and it looks like the Warriors are marching back, so that's going to be holding, I would have thought.
Offense, 71. 10 yards, first down.
That may be a break for Tamworth here, just pushing that offense back further, but really need to dig deep to try and hold them out.
So obviously Williams came in for that one play, and he's jogging back off as Jacket retakes the field, and normal service is resumed for that Warriors offense with the regular lineup. Once again, if you want to get in touch with us here at the show, please do. We've had no end of people tweeting so far, telling us who they're supporting, where they're watching from, correcting our pronunciations, which is absolutely fine, no issue with that. But please get involved using the hashtag Britbowl32 as Jacket and the offense go back to work, and the ball is handed off, and this time it's Watson. And since Sobowalo went down with that ankle injury in the last drive, we haven't seen him, and it's been Watson who's been on carrying the load.
Oh, he's certainly a talented running back as well, there's no denying that. Powerful running back. See if we can spot him on the sideline, but not quite sure where he is at the moment.
So 2nd and long after the holding penalty on first down for the Warriors. 2 running backs in this time. Andy Steadman joins Watson in the backfield alongside Nick Jacket. And that's going to be waved dead again, and that will, I think, be against the defense, depending on who jumped first, according to our referee. Let's have a listen.
Full start, offense, 53. 5 yards, second down.
Another break for the Tamworth defense.
Yeah, 15 yards in penalties so far for this Warriors offense on this drive. Tamworth, of course, 20 points down. Really going to have to muster something, maybe even a turnover of their own to try and get this ball back.
Keith Wickham and his crew been busy this afternoon. Stuart Young, Ben Griffiths, Pete Tom, Daniel Holt, Dean Wright and Peter Parsons make up our officiating crew. And that's a tackle for a loss. It's a fumble. The ball is on the deck and it appears that Tamworth number 42, Ben Davis, may have dropped on that one.
Yeah, it looked like Wayne Drew was the tackler, and as if by magic, as we said, they needed to get a turnover. It looks like they may have well gone and done it.
And indeed, it is Ben Davis that comes up from the bottom of the pile with the recovery.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but was Ben Davis not the man that got the winning pick 6 last year in the dying seconds of the game against the Blitz?
I think you might be right. I think you may well be right. So making an impact, 2 Britbowls in a row for Davis. But here we go. So a lifeline given back to the Phoenix. Daly and that offense. Same formation and threatening blitz again are those Warriors linebackers. And they do come and the ball is handed off. And it's Walters with the carry, but Walters gets stifled after getting back close to the line of scrimmage, but nothing more.
These running backs for the Phoenix have been left with nowhere to go. A Warrior always in the face as they come up to that line of scrimmage, and it's been great penetration throughout. The only way they've managed to move the ball on the ground is, of course, with Pat Daly.
I mentioned our officiating crew prior to that turnover, and Keith Wickham and his crew, obviously, without the many BAFRA crews around the country, this game would just not be possible. We've got the replay booth alongside us up here, run by BAFRA officials. We have our a scoreboard operator as Daly goes over to his right and hits a wide open Burslem, and Burslem is on his feet and easy. Oh, it looks like he pulls up, twinging something, but he makes a great reception and out of bounds, close to the 30-yard line, and you can see him hobbling there, and that's not good. But what we have done a lot this afternoon is call a number of Phoenix receivers, from Hussey to Hossack to Burslem.
It was a great find by Daly with Burslem right in open field.
See if we can see what happens here. He seems to...
I don't know if he just got stood on. That was a big shot on Daly on that play.
Number 45, Kai Curry, comes straight through and plants Daly on his backside. Loss of 2 on the play.
Just sit here on the replay. Daly coming round and boom, well read. Nowhere to go for Daly.
As I was saying, the amount of volunteers that are involved, not only in today's game, but in the game, the sport in general in the UK, and hopefully it will continue to thrive as it has done over recent years. And this is a great spectacle for our British game as Daly drops back to pass, swings the ball out to Walters, and Walters picks the ball up. He makes a cut inside. He gets close to first down yardage. He's going to come up just short, and that'll bring up third down.
Good running by Walters. Tough little runner as well. Just proving that he's got what it takes, and nearly getting over that first down marker.
Once again, Daly does very well to loft the ball over Alfred Nelson there, number 55, and managed to get the ball into Walters' hands, and he's going to be 3rd and 1, so you know they're going to go 4th down here if they're not successful on this one, and looking to try and make the defense jump. Low snap, Walters gets the ball again, finds a little gap off the right side of the centre.
Certainly got the first, but not a lot more.
And this Phoenix offense is rolling on this one. So, first down Tamworth, 5.5 left in the 3rd quarter here at Britbowl 32. Looking over the Leeds skyline here from South Leeds Stadium on what is turning out to be a very pleasant afternoon weather-wise after we started very damp early days as the ball is popped over the top and the ball is caught and into the end zone for a Tamworth touchdown is Marcus Urbanski. And just like that, the Phoenix are back in it again.
Yeah, what a great pitch and catch. Well read into space and just doing what he needed to do to get it over the plane of the end zone.
I did fear a little bit the way that Daly put that ball up. I didn't feel like there was a great deal of power on that one, but he manages to find Urbanski right between 2 Warriors defenders.
Yes, spotted, beautiful. That's one way to get over an interception.
Bounce straight back. Oh, what a points fest we are being treated to this afternoon as Benazabi kicks the ball through the uprights for the 28th point of the afternoon for the Phoenix, but they still find themselves in quite a deep hole with 5 minutes 21 to go in this third period.
The biggest issue they've faced today is that Warriors offense. They can move the ball on the defense. They're struggling a little bit getting the running backs going, but if they can't stop this Warriors offense, they don't stand a cat's chance.
It'll be interesting to see whether Sobowale does come back, because Watson has been carrying the load, and indeed it was Watson that did fumble on that last play. I can see Sobowale with his helmet on, walking towards the field of play, so it does look like he's going to be able to come back into the action, which Coach Allen and the Warriors will be thrilled about.
Let's see what this Phoenix kick team decides to do here.
So as Benazabi prepares to kick off, EP Sports are bringing you today's coverage of Britbowl 32. Thanks to EP Sports for helping make today's stream possible. As the UK's premier supplier of equipment and accessories, they're the one-stop for players from all over Europe. As that ball is going to go out of bounds, and that will be a flag and another error for the Tamworth Phoenix, which will put the Warriors into very promising field position once again. Yeah, get in touch with EP Sports. www.epsports.co.uk.
Out of bounds by the kicking
Their team sales specialist can help you and your team with any equipment that you may need and offer the best value in the UK. For more information, get in touch with them at sales@epsports.co.uk. They've got their travelling shop here in the main stand at South Leeds Stadium has EP Sports, and whenever those shops are around Georgia, it always tempts me to put my hand in my pockets. Rewind the clock 20 years to when I might have kitted up again. And
to the glory days.
Well, there were never any glory days, but I did enjoy them. As Jacket this time hands off, and it is Sobowalu who is back in the game. But that Phoenix defensive front holds strong and limits him to a pickup of maybe a yard.
Yeah, digging deep, making him try and trench through the mud, as it were. Nowhere to go.
So 2nd and 8 upcoming as we approach the end of the third period here. As ever, just fantastic to be able to bring you this game between the North and South champions. 10-0 as Sobowale again runs through tackle after tackle, and it takes more than one Phoenix defender to bring him down, and that will give him a first down.
Just keeps going. You can't stop the guy. It's some great running from him, and he's done it all day.
Deceptive speed, great upper body strength, and those legs, as you say, just keep on churning.
And as you know, as the defense looks like they've stopped him on the drive, the next play bursts out of nowhere and does that. Great running for him, and certainly I would say the front runner for game MVP at this point, with quarter and a little bit to go.
So first down for the Warriors, just shy of midfield as Jacket drops back, looks to his left, pops the ball over into the flats, hits Malloy, and Malloy is snagged immediately. That ball did squeak out. Ollie Campbell on the tackle, but I think the Warriors and Malloy did manage to secure it. A bit of an awkward fall there for Malloy. I worried a little bit about those lower limbs whenever you see players get twisted like that, but you can see he's jogging athletically back to the sideline after not only escaping injury but also escaping a turnover. So 2nd and 10. Big, heavy backfield this time. Jacket with 3 men surrounding him, and the ball is given to that big running back again, and he initiates contact, does Sobowale, and then just falls through it. And from 2nd and 10, it brings up 3rd and very manageable 2.
It looks very much like a running back that enjoys contact, enjoys putting people into the dirt. Well, he tramples all over him, and just like a raging bull, he keeps driving forward.
So 3rd and 2, what a stop this would be if the Phoenix could manage to get the offense off the field at this point. But as we've seen, we've got that same heavy backfield, 3 big bodies surrounding Jacket. As Will Hobbs inches to the line of scrimmage, and it's this time they're going down the sideline looking for a man, and it's, oh, what a catch! No! In and out of the hands of Taylor Burke. And for a second, right in front of our commentary position, I thought he'd hold that in with one hand. Great coverage.
Graham was the man with the coverage, and what good work he did. And very nearly got caught down that sideline, but Graham just getting an arm in and doing enough to pop that ball free.
So 4th down, 4th and a couple, as we mentioned, and the offense stays out on the field. And here's that play again, and
loads of time for Jackhead as well.
Right there, has that arm, and he almost hauled it in, but like you say,
right arm of Graham doing just enough to knock it free.
Now after that pass attempt on 3rd down, you would think they would go back to their strength on 4th, and they do. And he's got loads of room off the left side, and he makes the first man miss, as he tends to do every time. And instead of running around his man in the defender, he decides just to trounce straight through them.
Yeah.
1st down, Warriors.
Looks like Matt Gorney was the tackler that time. Plenty of space out on that left side of the field. That tight formation bringing the Tamworth Phoenix defense right into the play.
And it's these Warriors, you can't underestimate their pedigree. Prior to last year, they won the previous 4 Britbowl contests, all against the London Blitz.
It looks like we may have a Tamworth challenge here from the calls from the review.
So yes, those 4 wins prior to last year. Prior to those 4 wins, they were in the final the 2 years before that as well.
Yeah, so it looks like there's a slight discussion. Tamworth may be challenging for an offensive face mask. So we'll see what they can pick up. I don't know whether we caught the play on our replay system as well.
I can see the guys to our right are looking at that to see if we can see anything. So yeah, 7 out of the last 8 years, the Warriors have been in the final. They've won 4 of them. And obviously last year, the Tamworth Phoenix beat them at the semi-final stage. But what a pedigree those Warriors have.
This, of course, could be a big decision. If it goes the Phoenix way, it will be a turnover on downs.
Let's hook back up to Twitter for a mo while we get this replay. Get in touch with us, hashtag Britbowl32 if you want to get a shout out. M.Connor, this is great for Britbowl. Keep it up, lads. Rival team, but let's go Warriors. Bring it back to London. Obviously somebody involved with the Blitz there, I think, M.Connor. What else have we got scrolling down here? Neil McMaster. Britbowl 32 is awesome. 55 points in the first half and an awesome game. Warriors rushing attack is a joy to watch, and Pat Daly is awesome for the Phoenix. We're on side with the great halftime coverage too. Lawrence Grudgeon
asked for review on a potential face mask.
Let's have a listen.
There is no face mask visible. We will have a 1st down. Tamworth are now out of challenges.
Oh, there we go. So Tamworth did challenge that play and unfortunately come up empty. Courtesy of the replay booth, so it will be 1st down Warriors. Let's just get back to Lawrence Grudgeon. Shout out for the Eton Jaguars American Football Academy, offering under 12, under 17, under 19 and adult ball in 2019. Hashtag Britball32, Onside Productions moving the game forward. Well done, guys.
Thank you very much.
Of course, Eton Jags have taken over the Coventry Jets this year, a merger between the 2 teams. And as Roger points at our screen, due to that failed challenge, they also lose a timeout and have no challenge calls left for the remainder of the game. And that so could have gone the other way, and it would have been a big momentum changer. But here we are with the Warriors, 1 minute left of the 3rd quarter.
Great to hear that from the Eton Jaguars that I just read out, and you would have heard Vernon Kay at halftime mentioning about how important he obviously sees the flag and getting kids involved with the game and learning at the base level as ball is handed off, and it's Watson this time with a hole up the middle, and he bounces again to the outside. Will Hobbs looks to make the tackle. He runs through Hobbs and is eventually brought down with a combination of Hobbs and Dan Sharipo, but not until he's close to the 10-yard line, and another Warriors 1st down.
Yeah, some great running that time. We've said it so many times, just keeping those legs going, legs pumping, and just fighting off the tackles and people bouncing off these 2 big running backs that the Warriors have bought from the stable today.
Just while I'm on the Twitter tip, I've just seen one from Baffer Official. Shout out to @Baffer31 in the booth on video replay. He's had a fair amount of work to do in this first half. Thanks to Onside for providing footage. It does feel like a real big event this afternoon, George. With this
is the biggest event in British American football
calendar. And again, reverse. And a little jet sweep plugged into a reverse. That'll be James Cherry on the carry, but the Phoenix read that one well, contain using that lateral pursuit, and nothing doing there for the Warriors this time. But the time continues to tick. 27 ticks left in this 3rd quarter of play from the South Leeds Stadium here in Leeds. 41-28 is the current score. Advantage definitely with the Warriors.
You think for these Phoenix to get into the game at all, they're really going to have to get another turnover.
As that indeed is the end of the third period, as the clock ticks out with our third quarter score of the London Warriors 41 and the Tamworth Phoenix 28. So many people watching. Chris Ronks acts Chrissy Ronks. Dwayne is a beast. Geez, that run was so beautiful. There have been loads of those. But yeah, Watson and Sobawalu providing the ground attack this afternoon for the Warriors. Ollie Robinson watching the Britball stream whilst watching the Texas Tech Red Raiders with my old pal from the UK and Austrian leagues, Norma Stitz. AD Giles, we know from Nottingham, from our links with the Caesars and the Nottingham Trent Renegades. We are on side. Great coverage, great game. Even got the wife cheering. Football brothers in both camps. You have AD, well-respected veteran of the British game, knows people up and down the country, and great to know that the family are watching.
If the Warriors can put one in here, it's going to be a tall order for these Phoenix to try and rise up and get a three scores to try and tie the game, never mind win it.
Jacket to Watson, and Watson is met a yard after he has handed the ball. So that will be second and goal. Oh, sorry, second and 10. They can get a first down without scoring at this point. First down will require them to get to the 1 yard line. Let's see again whether or not, and it feels to me like the Warriors kind of tease the Phoenix. First down, second down, they kind of give the impression that Tamworth have done enough, and then third down, they always manage to find something, whether it's Watson, whether it's Sobawala, who has just checked into the game, whether it's Benjamin. Newport's been influential as well. See what's dialed up here on third down. 3rd and 9 as Jacket looks to his left, looks for Taylor Burke on the slant, but that ball was thrown far too low by Jacket, and that will bring up 4th down.
They've had very little passing game, but other than one fumble from the running back on their offense, the running game's done what it needs to do.
And rather than go for another touchdown, it appears that they are going to bring the kicking unit on, and Nick Jacket will be replaced by Ian Jacket. Ian Jacket himself a Britbowl MVP a few years back, having kicked the winning points. See if he can tag an extra 3 onto this already impressive 41 total, but no, it's a fake, and the fake does not come off. No flags. Brave from Allen, Coach Allen. Well, I say brave when you've got a cushion of this significance and you're in the 4th quarter. I suppose it was a kind of, I can't think of the phrase now, but
he's weighing up his risk, that's for sure.
A balanced gamble, if you like.
But if he had gone for 3, it would have put them up 16 points. It would have meant that Tamworth, if they did score 2 touchdowns, they'd have to go for 2 points both times, which of course is very, very difficult. At this point, they're only 13 points down, so Tamworth could do it with 2 touchdowns and 2 one-point conversions.
Look how quick, George, that Phoenix offense were ready, and they were wanting to get going before the Warriors.
There was defensive pass interference on their receiver in the end zone. The play is under review.
Oh, so before we get this latest offensive series underway, there is a play under review. So we go back to the replay booth, which gives us opportunity to once again thank our partners at EP Sports, who are bringing today's stream to you. EP Sports are the UK's premier supplier of equipment and accessories. They are the #1 stop for players from all over Europe. Check them out today at epsports.co.uk. The very many people here in the stand at South Leeds Stadium have been able to check them out.
That lid keeps changing. Oh, we just saw it again. Red, yellow.
2 different adverts, George. If you want to get in touch with the guys at EP there, you can see on screen sales at epsports.co.uk. And as I was about to mention, the people, the spectators in the stadium here have been able to look firsthand at their range of travelling stock as they have brought their store down to the main stand here at South Leeds. Let's listen to Keith Wickham.
After review, there is no evidence of defensive pass interference on video. That will be the timeout used for the Warriors. That's their last challenge. We're at 14:02. 14:02.
So
Timeout.
both teams now have lost all capacity to challenge. The Warriors there challenged for defensive pass interference, and nothing was viewed by our BAFTA replay booth.
Of course, that would have brought up a first down on the 1 yard line as well.
It would indeed. So this game is still alive at this point, but for it to continue to be alive, you feel the Phoenix have got to march 90 yards on this drive, and that's not something we've seen them do as of yet. Daly hands that ball off to Walters, and Walters picks up positive yardage, maybe 4 yards on first down, which gets the clock ticking, but gets the ball moving for the Phoenix. You'd think they're going to be going no huddle for the remainder of this game. Realistically, got to score here, then got to stop the Warriors, and then score themselves again. But we have seen stranger things, as this time Walters gets the ball again, and he goes off tackle to the left this time, picks up a couple, and it'll bring up 3rd and short. Let's see whether or not Daly and the offense can convert here. Now, it's going to be an interesting decision if they don't convert, because they're backed up close. Here's Daly with that last touchdown pass over to Urbanski, and runs over the DB once he makes the catch. So I say, if Daly and the crew aren't able to convert here, it's going to be an interesting decision whether they go for it on 4th down. And this time, new running back in, and it will manage to pick up the first down for Tamworth.
It's an interesting tactic to try and run this football. A little bit of handbags, a little bit of afters there, but an interesting tactic to try and run the football. 2 scores down. Of course, the clock will keep ticking.
And that's Deji Ali, and I think the Warriors were struggling with substitutions that time, and they were forced to take a timeout, I believe. Let's see. I think that will be what's happened.
At 13:01, second timeout, London Warriors.
So yes, the Warriors, because of this no-huddle attack now from the Phoenix, trying to change their personnel up, and were caught napping a little and were forced into that timeout. So only 1 timeout remaining for the Warriors now for the last 13 minutes of Britbowl 32.
Skies have got dark as well.
Wow, they're dark immediately, but looking over Leeds, it looks very, very enticing. So let's see whether Daly and the offense can bring their own sunshine to the game, as Daly is forced to take off, and he's got the speed to get round the right-hand side, jukes and gets out of bounds past the 30-yard line, which could and should be enough for another Phoenix first down.
Good running by Daly that time, just reading that there was space open to the right-hand side. Good coverage from the Warriors, but of course, with good coverage does mean that your defensive backs are likely upfield and gives that quarterback the opportunity. And with Daly being a quarterback that can scramble, that's only going to cause you problems.
Forced to run there, though, due to the pressure by Naeem Campbell.
It's only a 4-man rush, though, as well, and that'll be worrying for the Phoenix offensive line coming in late.
Absolutely. Daly again on first down. Deji Ali goes behind him. Oh, and his intended receiver, Huxtable, slips, making his cut out to the sideline. Otherwise, that may well have been a completion, and another Phoenix first down. The only bonus, the clock stops. 41 points London have scored today. Tamworth only conceded 59 total points in their 10 previous domestic outings.
It says quite a lot about the London Blitz and the London Warriors. I think the Blitz ran them close in the previous game. Well, not that close, but certainly put some points on the board. But it says about the competition down there, and perhaps they need to look at reviewing where some of the top teams should be to keep this game moving forward.
Daly looks to pass downfield again, but his options are taken away, and therefore tucks the ball and tries to make something happen. And
looks like they might be calling for an injury, Matt.
Does indeed. Struggles to get anything going. We say that about the London offence and the amount that Tamworth have conceded. London only conceded 33 points in 10 games, and already Tamworth obviously have put 28 on them today. So, as you say, it's an interesting one for me, looking at the results from the season as well. As dominant as Tamworth have been, the last game of the season against the Sheffield Giants saw Tamworth concede 20 points. Now, again, Sheffield have proved themselves effective this year, but Phoenix Blitz fixture was 30-17, so that really was a close game. Must have sent alarm bells ringing, though, to concede 20 points, even though they did outscore or outlast the Giants by a score of 63-20. Yeah, Coach Scott won't have been happy with conceding 20 in that final.
But at the same time, last game of the season, perhaps you're already guaranteed top spot in the north. Perhaps you put in some of your backups. Who knows? We weren't there, but Sheffield have managed to do a pretty good job this year for themselves as well, finishing 4th in the table.
Indeed. So while we clap the player off who has to leave the field, and he's obviously not happy about that, is Naeem Campbell. But obviously only removes his helmet before he leaves the field as well. Very agitated. Just chance. This one has just struck me on Twitter. From emotionally unavailable. London Warriors National Championship is coming. Just got to hold out for the rest of the game. Wish I was there balling, but I'm measuring my ring finger.
I wondered where he was going with that, but.
So here we go. 3rd and long for Daly in the offense. Twins either side once again trying to get that Warriors defense to jump, but unsuccessfully stay disciplined to do. And Daly looks like he's having to tuck again, and he flings the ball out, intending to hit James Hossack. But that flies out of bounds, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And with 11:34 left, it does look as though Daly and the offense are leaving the field.
Let's see if perhaps a fake punt is going to dawn on us here.
Well, we know that Coach Jason Scott is a gambling man. We covered two of the 3 games that the Phoenix played in Europe this year, and on the opening kickoff of the game against Karlstadt, he onside kicked it. Unfortunately, it didn't come off, but we know he's not shy of a gamble or two.
Looks like Campbell, the man that came off a moment ago, could be a finger or hand problem.
Benazabi kicks downfield again, and once again kicks away from Josh Amos. And that ball takes a Warriors bounce shy of the 30-yard line, and there's a late flag. Let's see what that may well be coming back with. Looks like it's going to be against the Phoenix. End of 3rd quarter stats while we're waiting for confirmation of this flag. Passing for the Warriors, Nick Jackett, 8 from 14 for 166 yards and 2 TDs. Pat Daly for the Phoenix, 13 of 20 for 130 yards and 2 TDs.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, 52 Tamworth. Personal foul, late hit, 42 Warriors. The penalties will offset. It's 52's first unsportsmanlike.
So offsetting penalties at the end of that one will mean the ball will remain at the 32-yard line of the Warriors. So yeah, from a passing perspective, both teams really evenly matched. 8 of 14, 166 yards, 2 scores for Jackett and the Warriors. 13 of 20 for 130 yards and 2 TDs for Daly of the Phoenix. As far as the ground game's concerned, the Warriors rushing attackers amassed 267 yards and 4 TDs.
Some going. The horses have been running tonight.
Sobowale responsible for 125 yards and 3 of those scores. As far as the Phoenix are concerned, still 63 yards on the ground, with Daly accounting for 51 of them. And here is Sobowale again, bounces to the right, and he's still going, and he's pushing Phoenix defenders as he goes, and he's on his feet at the 25. He's cajoled down at the 15, and another monster run by the monster number 35 for the Warriors.
What a hit.
Raymond Sobowale.
Launching his defensive back into the air. There isn't a flag on the screen. It just seems to be flickering at the moment, but he looks a little bit worse for wear there. But
and here we go. Like you said in the first half, that fast footwork combined with the strength and then the power, just stiff arming his DB,
and
switching the
nice,
ball.
Yeah, and that switch of the ball as he comes across the field, and that's great technique actually, great fundamentals from a runner as well, despite everything else that he managed to push in there.
But this boy has got it all. He's speed, agility, strength, awareness, great hand skill, and look, we are 10 minutes away from the end of this one, and as much as I would not want to count either team out, you've got to say that the Warriors, as the ball is handed off once again to Watson this time, and Watson gets close, falls, and he is no signal yet, down short of the goal line. You've got to say there's a strong case for Raymond Sobowale as being Britbowl 32 MVP.
Certainly, yeah. He's been absolutely fantastic, but all credit to the offensive line as well, and they've done a great job for Watson as well, leading the way.
Definitely down before the ball crossed the goal line there was Watson. And you're right, as much as Sobowale has been fleet of foot and managed to spot the gaps, those gaps have been there all day long. And that offensive line for the Warriors is in no small part why they have now amassed over 300 yards on the ground this afternoon. And the ball is given to Watson again, and Watson trundles in, and that is 47 points on the board. Watson's second score of the afternoon. And that will be, and Watson himself is over 140 yards now on the afternoon. So you've got two rushers, one over 150, one close to 150, as we see a replay of that score from Watson. And really, there's no one stopping him from that sort of distance.
Great stand by the offensive line. But the Warriors came into this game with a wicked vengeance and have really looked unrivaled since not long after the first quarter, to be honest.
7 touchdowns for the London Warriors against a Tamworth Phoenix side that, to be fair, as the season went on in Europe, did look like they were making progress and could well belong with the best teams out on the continent. But the Warriors asserting their dominance this afternoon and very much saying, hey, last year that semi-final was a blip. We are the premier outfit in Britball.
And they have shown absolute dominance. Great work from the offense and the defense as well.
I tell you what now, though, as well, with 9 minutes left, 48 points. You know, London are going to want that 50-burger. You know that when they get that ball back again, they're not going to be necessarily running down the clock. They're not going to be playing nice. They're going to be wanting to punch that ball back in, put 50 points on this Tamworth outfit.
50 points in a Britbowl final will really show the rest of Britain that we are here, we are the kings. Come and dethrone us.
As you mentioned earlier, Tamworth, first time for a long time that the North has had a Britbowl contender 2 years in a row, and obviously the Tamworth Phoenix are that contender and have been. Whoa, as the ball is fumbled by Huxtable, and now he's in a bit of trouble. He took his eyes off that, but he's managed to make something out of nothing and made 3 people miss, and there's a Warrior on the floor at the 35-yard line. Huxtable in the end did actually really well to say that it took him about 4 goes to pick the ball up.
Actually, the Warrior down looks in some amount of pain.
So we've been very fortunate, as much as a full camera crew this afternoon and a full replay crew, we've obviously had a full commentary crew as well. And for the first time in a long time, we've managed to have a studio team and a commentary team, and we'll be handing back to the inimitable, beautiful, talented Tash, along with Carl Walkinshaw, who will be bringing you our post-game show, highlights, analysis, picking the bones out of what has been a spectacular Britbowl 32 here this afternoon.
Yeah, if you like offense, this really was a game for you, that's for sure.
But at the same time, like you say, and like we both said, there have been plenty of defensive incidents as well. I think the Tamworth and Coach Scott will look back on this and rue the penalties in the first half. But look at that. 76 points in a Britbowl final.
That's some going, and still just over 9 minutes left on the clock.
The floodlights are on at the John Charles Centre for Sport, South Leeds Stadium here, 6:30 p.m, Saturday the 8th of September, on this final weekend. Britbowl 32, brought to you by our friends at EP Sports. They're not just a clothing or an equipment store for players. Their team sales specialists can help you and your team with any equipment that you may need, and they offer the best value in the UK. So for more information, they can be contacted using sales@epsports.co.uk. And obviously, with Britbowl and this BAFA weekend as well, the organisation and the team from BAFA have been working hard, not just today, and they have been working hard today, but all year long as well, and helping us to put that stream on as well and making the broadcast as successful as it has been. And can't give enough credit to BAFA and their involvement in all the finals, both today, tomorrow, the finals from last weekend, the Div 2 finals from last weekend as well.
Junior finals, the youth finals as well.
Everything that you've seen on your screens. And obviously, it's, as Vernon said, when people come together, when teams work together, you can never fail to get anything but success. And I hope you'll agree that not only the players down on the field and the two organisations, but also the broadcast crew, the BAFA crew, the BAFA crew, our friends at EP Sports, everybody has their part to play in putting on an end-of-season finale like this. Obviously, Onside Productions are bringing this stream to you as well, with BAFA double coverage and EP's help, and we're remiss of us not to mention all the crew working the cameras. We've got Sean Endicott down on our sideline cam. We've got Matt Mertis bringing you the studio camera work. Alex Campbell McKinnon, stalwart of the crew, who's on the fixed sideline as well.
John Swift, Tom Howe, Steve Matthews, Matt Patricia. I mean, Shane. He looks, he's very much a lookalike.
Obviously, Carl and Tash and our studio guests as well, Phil de Monte and
Roger Groves on the scoreboard as well. Done a fantastic job for us today.
Our statisticians from double coverage as well, providing us with those stats. As on first down, Daly hands off to Walters, and Walters scoots round the left end, runs out of bounds and picks up 6 yards. And with a 20-point deficit with 9 minutes remaining.
Of course, if you have enjoyed what you've seen today, you can always give us a cheeky like on our Facebook page as well.
Or if you want any of the crew, the Onside Productions crew to
turn up at your birthday, we are available. Is that not where you're going with that?
No, not quite, as Daly looks to his left and hits Hussein. And that picks up a Tamworth first down. It kind of feels like we're in the dying embers of this one, and it's only because of the scoreline, really, with it being a 20-point deficit. But as you say, 9 minutes left. If Tamworth can claw anything back here, then, you know, keeps the game interesting. We know Warriors are going to go for that 50 burger, but let's see what happens here. But yeah,
Tamworth won't go down without a fight, that's for sure.
That's not. And their tagline of family, PHAMILY, is always strong. And you know, as you've said, they're not going to lie down and let the Warriors roll over. They will defend that 50-point marker with all that they've got.
Yeah, and if they do come away with a loss here, that will cut deep, and they will do what they can to get back here next year, that's for sure.
So yeah, can't emphasise enough really the work that BAFA, the board and all involved do to put on this event, but also through the year to get things running. And as the pass is once again completed out to Hussein, and Hussein's close to a first down, but that will bring up third and short. And that no-huddle offence will continue to roll for Daly and the offence. You can see a nice quick read again from Daly. When you meet Daly, he's a very unassuming young man. Obviously very talented both with his arm and his legs, and reads the game very well as well. As this time Daly keeps the ball himself and should, in fact, I'm failing to keep up to track with the chains there. He had picked up first down with that completion last time. So on first down, Daly keeps the ball on that design QB run as the clock ticks under 8 minutes. And I believe, well, obviously we're up here tomorrow, George, for the Division 1 final, which will be the final action of the Britbowl season. Again, BAFA organising that here from South Leeds Stadium as Daly goes back to pass, flips the ball to the flats to Walters. Walters can't get around the first man, and that will bring up third down. And as a result of us being here in Leeds tomorrow to bring you the Leicester Falcons taking on the Kent Exiles, had a chat with Coach Kassar, head coach of the Leicester Falcons, at half-time. He's really excited for tomorrow's game. We're staying up in Leeds tonight, so we're going to take on the delights of Leeds this evening. I'm quite looking forward to that as Daly goes to his right again and hits Huxtable this time. That'll be another, the ref whistled incomplete indeed. So that will bring up 4th down. So even though Huxtable brings that one in, he didn't manage to get those feet in bounds. And this one realistically will be the game. If you don't convert here, I think this one will be put to bed. But I know we're going to see that Warriors offense knocking on the door for that 50 burger.
The Warriors defense have done a great job with tackling it. Not a lot of yards allowed after catches, and the running backs have had nothing, and that's going to be an offside penalty on the Warriors as Daly looks to get out of there and get that 1st down, trying to find space to the sideline, but he knows he's going to pick up that 1st down from the penalty.
Number 46 there for the Warriors, Junior Arajua. Oh, it's, yeah.
Offside, defence. 5 yards is enough for a 1st down.
It's Kai Curry, number 45, and like you say, Daly sensibly runs out of bounds. This game will be available on our YouTube channel if you wish to watch again and dissect the action. Maybe you're a coach from around the country looking to get some tips.
Watch and subscribe as well for any upcoming events we may have coming.
Absolutely. Onside Productions getting busier and busier as Daly looks for Huxtable again, and Huxtable makes the first man miss, and he's on his feet inside the 25 down to the 22-yard line for a nice hook up and a gain of 20.
Nice completion this time by Daly. Reads the defense very, very well. Drawn to the right-hand side, the left-hand side of their offensive line, and just finds Huxtable open.
Sam Obi missed the initial tackle on the receiver, which gives a 1st down to the Phoenix.
5:52, 4th quarter, 3rd and final timeout, Warriors.
And that is the Warriors' final timeout. And just from that, you can tell that they're saving time to get that ball back.
Yeah, very much so. Do you know what we haven't seen from these Phoenix, bearing in mind that a lot of them are linked quite heavily to Nottingham University? That hook and ladder play.
Oh, for those, and obviously this is a nationally televised event today, and we know that a lot of our viewers will be watching from further afield and won't be overly aware of
the Bucks leagues and what they
necessarily,
do.
Yeah, the university leagues. And Onside are a Nottingham-based company, and we had the pleasure of bringing the varsity game this year, the University of Nottingham students against the Nottingham Trent students, the Nottingham Trent Renegades, and University of Nottingham students ran out winners of that. But before that one ended, down at Lady Bay Sports Ground, there was a beautifully executed hook and ladder play which went for 70-odd yards, as you say.
But at this point, you know, nice little trick plays like that can come into fruition.
Daly hands off to Walters, and Walters is spun around, but he manages to keep his balance, but then he is annihilated, I think it's fair to say, for a loss of 6 yards. He does well to avoid that first tackle, but all being said, it would have been probably better for him to go down there than actually stay on his feet and meet that group of people.
1, 2, 3, all surrounding him.
Theo Williamson, amongst others, greeting Elliot Walters there. As we mentioned, yeah, Coach Jason Scott, head coach of the Phoenix, but also of the University of Nottingham students. Great catch if it's going to be ruled complete, and it is ruled complete. And that's Will Husey, who manages to make the catch, hold on to the ball under immense pressure from the defensive back there. Yeah. That defensive back, Leslie Olawolo Wilson.
And that was really a masterclass in catching the ball under pressure and getting the feet in bounds, which is key, of course.
Big 3rd down again, coming up with 5 minutes remaining exactly in Britbowl 32. Low slap and off goes Daly. Daly round to the left side. He's going to get close, but hangs the ball out to try and get extra yardage, but he gets pushed out after only a pickup of 3. So that's going to be 4th and 3.
Fourth and 5. I think they're going to mark him here, but another 4th down that they've got to try and overcome on this drive to get something going.
And I tell you who has been very quiet, who wasn't in the summer with the GB Lions out in Finland, is that man that you can see. You can't see him right now, but we can. Josh Amis, who's playing free safety at the moment.
They've called his name a couple of times throughout the game, though.
Not done a great deal, and the ball flipped out, and that's going to be close. And Oh, that's going to be short, you know. He's going to be a yard short. And the first down saving tackle comes from Daniel McKenzie. And it was James Hossack who manages to catch the ball. Couldn't manage to turn upfield. As a fantastic defensive stop from the Warriors, and particularly from McKenzie, brings that Warrior offense back on the board. And with 4:33 remaining, that could be all we see.
Worth noting, as we've got it on the screen, both Wayne Drew and Elliot Walters of Tamworth Phoenix have been a great support of the Lifting the Lid campaign, which is raising awareness for the mental health issues surrounding not just the game, but in general as well. Big up to those two guys for doing what they've done. I think they had their hair cut off or something.
They did.
I mean, we're both, you've lost yours, but mine's going. I mean,
and here comes that Warriors offense again. It's that man who they're going to get a large dose of in this next 4.5 minutes.
Phil Allred, the man that tracked him down.
Raymond Sobowala. And they're going to be having nightmares about him back in Tamworth this evening and for the off-season.
I think at this point we should just start calling him MVP for short. He has had a phenomenal game.
Not to take anything away, like you said, from that offensive line and Watson, but it definitely has been Raymond who has done the damage. And to be fair, as much as like we said, the offensive line has done the work, he's been responsible enough. He's made things happen as well.
He has struck when he needed to strike.
Here he goes again. There's some good blocking to begin with, and look, one tackle missed, but the second man does bring him down, and this time Nelson Charles Nwafo brings down the MVP elect.
It's not a stat that we've really been tracking today, but the broken tackle stat, I would imagine, would be horrifically, well, certainly for a defense, horrifically high.
It's going to be up there. And here comes 3rd and 4 for the Warriors. Watson checks into the game, but that doesn't necessarily give the Phoenix much of a break, because we know the power that he's demonstrated already as well. And this time Jackie goes back to pass. He hits his man, but in and out of the hands. And that's Phil Newport, scorer of 2 earlier touchdowns, and he gets banged up on the play, gets twisted up making the tackle, but equally the defender does as well. And on comes Ian Jackett to punt. So there may be a little bit of a sweetener and a bit of pride to be salvaged by the Phoenix defense.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, if they get that 7 points on the board, it looks like the defensive back's going to make his own way off the field. 44, Chris Thacker, the man walking off. Wayne Drew, 97 there in front of him. If they can get another score on the board, it would, despite perhaps a loss, would beat the points against that the London Warriors have conceded all season.
All season, yeah. And like you say, you look at, they'll take plenty from this game, the Phoenix will, and as much as it'll hurt, and Jason Scott will obviously not wanted this to have gone this way, they will learn from it, and you know the Phoenix will just keep building, and they will come back stronger. Obviously, unfortunately, won't be able to build on their European adventure of this year. That will be the honour of the London Warriors, but the kick is blocked. So that might well, and if we can get to see what happened, it looks like one of the Phoenix has dropped on that, so a short field.
Yeah, it was Ashley Miller, we mentioned a couple of times, that dropped on that football.
See if we can see who comes through for the Phoenix to block this one. Just goes to show, after the low snap, Jackett does well to actually get the ball up. But it's 52 for the Phoenix, I believe. Dan Shadipo, who manages to give Daly and the Phoenix excellent field position. And as you said, if the Phoenix can outscore the point tally,
Deji Ali this time with a big run, and a nice, powerful run. Not something we've seen from the Phoenix all day, really, with the pair of running backs they've got.
Lovely off-tackle run to the left-hand side there, moving the chains. First down, 2 minutes 12 to go. Will they get a playoff before the 2-minute warning? They will, due to the fact that the chains had been moved, so obviously the clock stopped. And a low snap for this time for Daly, and Daly swings the ball over to Walters, and Walters with the reception inbounds for a pickup of 5, and inbounds and out of bounds.
Leaping through the air, good grab by Walters. Looked like Daly had put a little bit too much on it.
Love the way that Daly there, as he skirted into the flats there, waved towards his quarterback, as Daly had looked downfield and saw everything covered down there and waved, look, I'm here, use me, I'm the outlet. And he does provide a good 5-yard pickup on second down. So 11 yards away from pay dirt. Daly in the offense will be looking to see if they can break that 30-point barrier as the Warriors threaten blitz up the middle with that linebacker once again. And on the last few occasions, he has come, and he comes once more, and Daly zips the ball to the corner for Hossack, and Hossack makes the catch, but it's going to be inches short. Inches short, sliding on his derriere. And I'm surprised he doesn't have a white stripe on those bright orange pants after that.
That's the second time he's made a grab like that today. It's impressive, to say the least, but as he brought it in, got to get that arm out and over the line.
And that will be the 2-minute warning here in South Leeds Stadium as the floodlights begin to do their work.
Look at the crowd there.
At least I believe it will. They've not had an official from the signal from the officials to suggest we've gone past.
2-minute warning was about 25 seconds ago.
It has gone, okay. So here goes first and goal, and it's Deji Ali who is met on the line. Does he manage to twist and fall forward? No signal yet, apart from the Phoenix players. No, marks short again as the clock continues to run. Remember, join us at the conclusion of this game for the post-game show. And now signal is touchdown Phoenix, and Deji Ali will be credited with the score.
This will be an interesting call. I'm not quite sure we're going to be able to pick anything up with a review, because that was just a big pile-up. Whether our sideline camera picked anything up at all.
And there's still arguments going on, and I know our replay officials are looking to see if they can spot anything. It's a good camera angle they've got from our crew at onside, and from Matt Mertis particularly. Now they're looking at a different angle from Sean Endicott, and those boys have done a great job all afternoon setting up in the rain.
Matt Curtis.
Oh, sorry, Matt Curtis. Oh, sorry. Anyway, the extra point has been given. There seems to be no reason coming that the touchdown can't be awarded. Keith Wickham, we're hopefully going to hear from right now.
The call on the field was a touchdown. It's been reviewed, and the touchdown was correctly awarded.
So there it is, 34 points on the board for the Phoenix. One more point than the Warriors have conceded all season long, and that is an achievement in its own right.
It is, yep. The defense not doing enough today to shut down what has been an impressive Warriors offense.
And the kick is up, and the kick is no good. So the score remains the London Warriors 48 and the Tamworth Phoenix 34. Now with a minute 15 left. Does Coach Scott want that ball back?
Oh, you've got to go for it. Never give up. Never give up.
So, onside kick could be coming here. As I mentioned, 1 minute and change left in this one. The conclusion of Britbowl 32 here from the South Leeds Stadium. Hope you've enjoyed this one as much as we have. Join our post-game show with Carl Walkinshaw and Tash, who will be breaking down all today's action, picking the bones out of what went right, what went wrong, who the key players were. And then don't forget, join us tomorrow for the culmination of the British American football season when the Leicester Falcons take on the Kent Exiles here from South Leeds Stadium in the Division 1 final.
And a big thank you to BAFA for putting on all of these events over the last 4 weeks. What a wonderful job they've done.
So here we go then, and it is a cheeky onside kick, as we thought it would be, and that ball is live, and it's still squirting around, and it is eventually grabbed by the London Warriors, and it looks to be number 29 who's fallen on that football, Josh Amos. And we said we hadn't mentioned his name too much, but that is an important recovery. And even though they lined up looking like they might kick it deep, I don't think they were really fooling anybody.
And it very nearly went their way as it slipped through the fingers of Tamworth's 18, Jack Verling.
So while we've got a brief moment, let's look at these stats at the 2-minute warning. I'm most interested in those rushing stats for the Warriors. 342 yards, 190 yards for Sobowala, 142 yards for Watson, 4 touchdowns between them, 3 for Raymond, 2 for Watson. And here we go, big backfield. Watson gets the carry this time, and Watson picks up positive yardage, and he keeps those legs churning. And the clock continues to run. The Warriors without the timeout at the moment. But it looks like the Phoenix have called timeout. Indeed, they have. So as you say, Coach Jason Scott not ready to give in yet. The Phoenix have one
At 1
timeout
minute
remaining.
16, 116, second time
Through the air,
Tamworth.
166 yards, 2 TDs, 8 from 15 for Nick Jackett. 19 of 30 for 130 yards, 2 TDs for Tamworth's Pat Daly. The Phoenix themselves on the ground, 93 yards on the ground, 69 of those and a score belonging to Pat Daly, last year's MVP. I think this year's MVP is pretty sewn up though for Sobowala. 2nd and 4 upcoming. Watson still in the backfield. Watson with the carry, bounces out to the left side and he's got room. He's going to get past the first down marker and I think he's tackled before he goes out of bounds. He's indeed marked inbounds as the clock continues to run. Chains will be moved and then the clock will pick up again. George, I've thoroughly enjoyed this one. We've been doing this for 3 years now, I believe it is.
To be honest, I can't remember what I had for breakfast. I can't. It was nice, whatever it was.
The progress that, as you've said, the progress that BAFA have made in putting on these events these last 4 weeks, but also the progress that Steve and Tom have made with on-site production.
Yeah, done a fantastic job. The streams just keep getting better and better, and hopefully we can keep heading upwards.
And we're obviously, I mean, last week for the first time they managed to bring 2 live streams, one from here in Leeds.
That was the first time. Then of course we did one last week where we had 2 games as well.
I meant obviously we had the Birmingham's weekend, which again we've not mentioned much about the women's game this weekend, but that Pro Cloud Trophy that went on in Birmingham last weekend between the Birmingham Lions, the Helsinki Wolverines and the New York Sharks. That was a fantastic 3-day event again, and testament to the women's game and the way that's growing.
Yeah, great display of football for those women, of course. And we mentioned her a couple of times over that weekend, but Phoebe Schechter, of course, getting onto the Bills coaching staff for the season. And I think it just shows, if you want something bad enough, and it doesn't matter where you come from or what you are, who you are, you can get there in the end.
So I think it's been agreed, and rather than running up the score anymore, we're getting word that the Warriors are going to do the decent thing, it must be said, and kneel this one out with 21 seconds to go. Neither team has any timeouts remaining. Obviously, therefore, there has been a conversation between the 2 outfits. And Britbowl 32 here at the South Leeds Stadium is all but over. And I think shortly we will see Keith Wickham as you see the clock run down under 10 seconds. The culmination of the 32nd edition of the Britbowl.
This is the end of the game.
Will come to an end with the London Warriors crowned Britbowl 32 champions by a score of 48-34 over the Tamworth Phoenix. What a great game we have had this afternoon. Congratulations to the Warriors, commiserations to the Phoenix, but I know both these outfits will continue to strive forward.
Wow, what an incredible encounter that was, and a fitting end to the 2018 season as far as Britball is concerned. Obviously, that was the first time those 2 teams met in the final, and they would meet again a year later, which was an equally enthralling game. So, we hope you enjoyed that latest instalment from the Britball archives. We'll be back next week to bring you more of the same with Behind the Play. Take care, have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.